Today, Top 30 is the only company in the world able to design, produce, set up and manage a top-level competition. Everything within the same company. Everything with the trustworthiness and professionalism that an official competition requires. Everything. Top 30. Top 30. The heart of climbing.
Move! Hello, sorry about that if you just heard me on the welcoming. We are live for the finals in Inzai. I'm here with Kevin Wilson again.
Hello everybody.
Okay, we're just about to get underway with the women's finals. They start off first. They're just about to be introduced in a few minutes' time, and it's going to be a fantastic final underway, I think.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how Mina Markovic does, given that she qualified in 7th, but I think everybody's going to be so psyched up, and the crowd is getting huge in here, so it's going to be really loud. I know they got a light show planned. I think it's going to be a real spectacle.
It's going to be a spectacle. These crowds have been here all day. They were queuing before we arrived at the venue. I'm not sure if our cameraman can show us some of the shots of the crowd. I think we're doing that right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and take our seats in the video booth next to the commentary box. The athletes are going to be brought out in a second. This is the wall that you're looking at now, and let's have a look at the start list for the women's finals. So here we are, our top 8 finalists of the Inzai IFSC World Cup 2012. Charlotte Durif will be first. Mina Markovic, now there's a surprise, coming out second, so she only just qualified 7th, Kevin.
That's true, yeah. I think if she thinks about the overall, she's going to really go for it and try and catch Jain, but if she has the same type of performance, she might end up in 7th, and that would be disastrous for the overall.
Just quickly running through, I think they're going to be announcing in a couple of minutes. Akira Noguchi, one of the first of a couple for the IFSC. Sorry, I've just been interrupted by one of the judges. I'll be with you in a second. So yeah, Akira Noguchi, one of the first of 2 Japanese climbers in the final, and the crowd are going to erupt for that.
Yeah, that's great that there's 2 of them. Akio had a little bit of trouble in the semi-final, but if she rides the wave of the spectator, she's going to probably improve at least 1 position, maybe 2. Although Dinana Faktitanova had a great climb and actually looked like she was going to top out. And I guess came pretty much as close as Momoko Oda did to topping out. They both touched the last hole before falling. But the top 3, Joanna Ernst, Maya Vidmar, and Jain Kim, all topped out and all looked extremely good. Maya Vidmar having a great competition after having some disastrous results in China particularly, and in Mokpo as well. She didn't climb very well. So hopefully she'll pull off a podium. That would be great to see. Although obviously the hometown crowd is cheering for Akio or Oda to either win it or at least podium. Jain Kim looked so good in the semifinals as well. She really strolled that route, made it look easy, and she's got amazing recovery, so I bet you she's going to be in top form for the final, and she's got a good chance of going all the way. If she does win, and Mina Markovic, I believe if Mina Markovic finishes any lower than 2nd, their positions in the IFSC ranking will reverse, and Jain Kim will take over 1st place in the overall ranking. If Mina falls below 3rd or 4th, that's really going to put her overall title in jeopardy as we go on to Kranja in 2 weeks for the final competition of the year. I would hazard a guess that Mina's really going to try and pull it out and come in at the worst third, so that there's not too big of a distance between her and Jain. And if Mina can win in her home country of Slovenia, she will pull out the overall title.
Okay, the lights have been dimmed and we're just going to leave it to the local MCs as we usually do for the introduction of the athletes, and then we'll come back with the commentaries. They're going through looking at the routes. So okay, so the athletes now are just having a look at their walls. They've got 6 minutes, Kevin. If I can just leave you for a second, I'm just going to go sort out graphics out.
Sure.
Just talk us through what's going through their minds while they're doing this, and why some of them pair up. If you notice, Kim Jae-in and Johanna Ernst are pairing up to look.
Yeah, they're all scoping out the route together and trying to figure out each individual move. This particular route, now that they're crossing the two walls, is really, really long. And yeah, that's going to be a really interesting feature. Trying to get around in between the two walls is going to be a real challenge, particularly for the shorter girls, as far as I can tell. Although the gap's not as far as it looks because of the big main volume that they have there. But yeah, each of the climbers, they do pair off. Sometimes there's 3 or 4 in a group talking to each other. They all know each other. They tend to be friends, so they don't mind discussing a little bit of strategy. Hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to heel hook there, I'm going to put my left foot there, and cross, that type of thing. They really have to get the image in their head of what they're going to do, and also kind of a backup image. Because if they do make a big mistake and they feel that, hey, what I thought from the ground doesn't work once I get up in this position here, they have to be ready to change on the fly, as it were, to a separate move. And if you haven't planned anything out, you think no matter what, I'm going to do it this way, you can really climb yourself into a corner and end up falling a lot lower than you should, because you end up trying to perform a move in a much more difficult manner than it should be performed, or in a far different manner than the route setters intended. We used to see that in the World Cups occasionally. Even back in my day, climbers would get dead set on doing a particular move a particular way and try it 2, 3, 4, or 5 times the wrong way, and eventually get so tired by the time they even tried to correct themselves and do it the right way, they were too tired to move on. I believe they have 6 minutes. We have about 3 minutes and 20 seconds left of viewing time. You can even see some of the girls have binoculars that they brought out. That is perfectly legal. That's part of the rules. You're allowed to do that. Actually, I think most of them have them now. And you can see Dinara Fakritanova and Joanna Ernst miming out the holds together. Yeah, even pointing and saying, hey, I'm going to heel hook this. I think we should heel hook that. So that's great to see. Like we said earlier, the climbing world is sort of one big family. Doesn't matter if you're Russian, German, French, American, or Chinese, or Japanese. It doesn't really matter. We all climb together, and most people get along just fine. This route is going to be a lot longer than it actually seems, because at the top, they actually end up climbing all the way to the left side of the 2 walls before they come back towards the center, where we see 2 green volumes making sort of a V, and a white volume above that that represents the handholds. When they come back across, I think that by then, even the best climbers are going to be pretty tired, and it's going to be tough to see a top out. It does look like the very, very end is a little awkward as well, just because there's only a pinch for the big green last hold is a pinch, and you have to kind of cross to the final jug is what it looks like to me. We'll see if anybody figures out a different sequence, but from the ground, that's what I can see. So some of the girls that are maybe a little bit less inclined to bouldering and more tending towards stamina routes, I'm not going to say they're going to have a huge advantage, but they might have a small advantage, given that this route is a lot longer than the previous qualifiers in the semifinals that were only 15 meters high. Yeah, of course the routes wandered back and forth, so they were a little bit longer than 15 meters, but this is a lot longer than 15 meters. And again, the route setters did a great job, it looks like. We'll see how it plays out, but to me it looks like they did a great job, especially incorporating the cross between the 2 walls, moving from the right wall to the left wall. Not only is that going to provide the climbers with a really strenuous test, either backstepping or reaching your foot all the way across and using body tension to do a big span, but it's also going to provide the crowd and the fans with a unique opportunity to see somebody climb between 2 walls. It's really quite interesting. We don't see it a lot on the World Cup. I guess I was talking to the route setters earlier, and they think that this route is probably hard 8B, so that would be somewhere in the vicinity of hard 13D American grade, or 31 Australian, 10 or hard 10 in German. The grading systems around the world are a little bit confusing to deal with, and maybe at the break I'll go over those a little bit in a little more in depth. But for here, we always deal with the French grading system, which is why we always we say it's 8B or 8A plus, etc. And we try not to give too many equivalencies, because that'll just confuse people. But this one is hard 8B. It's not just a normal 8B, it's a hard 8B as far as the ridge setters have told us. And you can see there's an amazing number of volumes, and actually from the double volume down low that kind of looks like 2 triangles squished together, from that I don't think anybody's going to have any trouble getting on top of that. Yeah, unless they slip or something. I can't imagine that they'll be very pumped or anything by that point. But once they get up into the roof, where the big black volume and blue volume come together, and then they move out left to the white volume. There it's going to get fairly difficult because that black volume, again, is fairly hard to hold. There is a crimp on it that the girls will be able to use, but getting your body situated in the right way in order to make sure you keep stress off your arms is actually going to be very challenging. And the white volume is not as good as it looks, so that's going to start to pump you out already. And of course, as you start to traverse, by the time they get to the big red volume and then the green double volume that was part of the men's semifinal, they'll already be feeling it. So in order to do the span across to the other wall, I think they're really going to have to bear down. I expect personally, I didn't get any confirmation of this from any the route setters or anybody, but I expect that half of the girls will make it to the span and possibly make it through the span. And maybe even 5 out of 8. Akio Noguchi, even though she qualified in 5th, is very strong boulder, and if the section at the bottom is bouldery, her stamina should still be fine by the time she makes it to the stretch across. And boy, if the crowd's going crazy and she takes their lead, she might just be able to push all the way, either all the way through this route or at least over to the left side of the left wall. There we have the announcers just announcing the first climber.
So yeah, thank you for that, Kevin. We're going to be starting very shortly with Charlotte Deriff from France. If we're just going to have a quick look at the starting order. This is the start lists as they come out. Charlotte Deriff, Mina Markovic, Akira Noguchi, Dinara Fakutanova, Momoka Oda, Joanna Ernst, Maya Vidmar and Kim Jae-in. So what is fantastic is we've got all the great climbers of the world in here. 2 Japanese climbers for the home crowd. Now last week, Kim Jae-in, Hyun Bin Min, first country to ever take both golds in male and female. Can Japan do it with Sachiyama and Akio or Momoka?
Yeah, I think they could if they have the perfect climbs. You know, the Sach certainly is a little more well placed to beat the men than Momoka, but yeah, they could definitely do it. I think it's anybody's game in the top 3, honestly. Although Jae-in Kim did look incredibly strong in the semifinal, and this route, stamina type of route like this might suit her a little better. Momoka Oda is quite a good stamina climber, so she's got a chance as well. And Maya Vidmar, like I said, anybody in the top 3 has got a good chance.
Okay, people I've just noticed in the chat, just welcoming our commentator this week, Kevin Wilson here. Thank you for joining us. Kevin Wilson used to compete on the World Cup circuit back in the early 90s. This was before the IFSC was formed, but it was still sport climbing as a competition. Represented Canada. You may remember he climbed with his twin brother as well. Kevin, we've got some newcomers who've missed the semi-finals and qualifications. I know it's quite disgraceful that they've missed your hard work, but just tell us a bit about your history of climbing.
Okay, yeah, my twin brother and I represented Canada from 1990 through 1993. And then I came back myself in 1996 to climb on the World Cup again. I actually got injured and didn't manage to climb on the World Cup that year, but I did do international competitions. So we basically did World Cups for 5 years and international competitions for 6 for myself. I still climb. I still love to climb. I still follow the sport. I do know a few of these climbers personally, and I certainly know some of the old guard, like our route setter Carlos Brasco is a friend of mine from the 1990s World Cups. So it's great to be back and see all these people.
Okay, Kevin, I'm going to put you on the line here. Right, we've got you're Canadian, Sean McCall. You live in Japan, Sachiyama. Who's going to win?
Sachiyama, I think.
Is that because you live here now?
Yeah, no, I think he handles the pressure of the crowd really well and can actually use that to his advantage. Sean seemed to be much more motivated after the semifinal rather than yesterday in the qualies. He seemed like he was a little bit out of sorts, and even though he climbed extremely well, he just, he told us that he wasn't feeling great. It might be that finishing 5th in the qualifier for Sean is actually going to motivate him. and he's going to just come out and climb for fun and get it done, and he might win the whole thing. But Sach, I think, might pull it up.
Okay, well, let's talk about the men in about an hour's time.
All right,
we've got the 8. Well, no, that's fine. I asked you the question. So we've got 8 women now. Kim Jae-in, top. She's second in the IFSC World Rankings. Mina Marcus at the top. However, Mina has not had a good competition so far. Her compatriot Maya Bidmar, very well in the qualifications. Who's your top 3? And I want to ask that to also everyone in the live chat. Who is going to take gold, silver, bronze? Kevin.
All right, I think I have to go with Jae-in Kim for the gold, even though I do believe, you know, Momoko Oda or someone could squeak in there if Jae-in happens to make a mistake or something. But the way she's looking, I'm going to have to go with her for the gold. Silver, just Maya hasn't been on the podium in a while, and I think she's really motivated. She's back feeling good. I think she's going to ride that wave, yeah. So I think she's going to take it. And Joanna Ernst, coming off of a bad weekend in Mokpo, actually seems like she's doing well, but I'm questioning whether she's actually going to make the podium. I think Oda will make the podium.
Okay, well, we're underway. It's Charlotte Durif, our first climber. And we will be having our live graphics, so we'll see her counting at the counting her climb as she goes up. It's 52 to the top.
Yeah, you'll see some of the climbers pause like this even before they get going, and just to reset the route in their head again really quick. They also, occasionally you see them bend down and kind of touch their shoes. What they're actually doing is taking off little slippers that they have that they put over top of their climbing shoes to keep their shoes from getting dirty as they walk across the floor here to approach the wall. I don't expect her to have much trouble here in the first few bolts. If the route setters are kind, the first couple bolts are usually sort of a warm up, kind of get your fingers going, get your legs going, get your feet going. Again, the bottom portion of the wall, if you didn't join us earlier in the qualifying and the semi-final, the bottom portion of the wall to just above Charlotte's hand is actually not that overhang. It's only about 5 degrees overhang, but above that we have the steep section with the double arrowhead, and then the even steeper section, which is kicked all the way back. This wall, for those of you who don't know, who didn't join us in the qualification and semi-final, this wall actually is movable. So it was probably 10 degrees less steep for the men's semi-final than it is now, the right-hand wall, and the left-hand wall was probably very close to where it is, maybe 3 degrees less steep. It's amazing that they can change the angle of this wall. It really adds to the complexity and makes the route setting actually perhaps a bit easier because they have so many options to go with. And I have to say the route setting's just been excellent here. My hat's off to Carlos Brasco and his team. Yeah, I didn't foresee too many problems here. Charlotte, of course, is a very slow climber comparatively. She's already used up 2 minutes of her time. She's down to 6 minutes left to climb. She's already used 2 minutes. So I don't think she's worried at this point, of course, but this is an extremely long route, so she might have to get moving a little bit. Of course, the route's pumpy enough that she might not last more than a minute or two anyways, but we'll see.
Okay, so she's now approaching the roof section. Now, I know you just mentioned about how the roof's changed. She's going to be pretty much climbing at a 90-degree angle to basically horizontal to the floor here.
Yeah, right there, especially where the wall, right at her knees, and also in the next section, the wall actually has a dent in it and a slightly more overhanging section, and it is very close to parallel to the ground. It's quite amazing. She's, of course, with Charlotte, it's a little difficult to tell if she's getting uncomfortable because she's so slow. Sometimes I can't tell if she's getting uncomfortable, but right there she found a good knee bar. managed to match that small crimp and is chalking, looking really good. Oh yeah, even reaching up easily. At least she's going to get the feel that hold before she has to use it, because like I said earlier, that hold's a little trickier. And you see, oh, she slipped. She's going to have to really bear down. Probably try and maintain this heel hook in order to clip or to get really high and turn that undercling into a little more positive. Oh, she managed to find a knee scum against the white hold. That's great. That always helps take pressure off your hands, especially when you're in a difficult clipping position. If you can find a knee bar all of a sudden that locks you in, gives you a little bit of confidence and stops you from being nervous about possibly coming close to the ground if you should fall while you're clipping.
So here you can see what the route is. She's just on the right hand side at 26. She's going to now go across over to this red volume, across the two green, the purple hold round, and across to the other wall, which is going to be quite exciting. I have not seen a climb like this in the whole of the World Cups I've been to.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I was saying earlier when I was introducing the wall that that's going to possibly pose some problems for people who aren't used to it, but it's nice that the route setters put that clip there so that even if they do fall, they're not going to take a terrible winger or anything. And this route actually has 52 total holds, which is amazing given that the semifinal only had 43, I think it had. So we have at least 9 more extra holds on here, and she's doing great. Double heel hook in there. Well, she's pinching with the inside leg, she's heel hooking with the outside. We'll see how if she has to spin around to get her feet across to the other wall here.
There you can see the camera right below us. You can see that it's about a metre. You say the metre gap. It's going to be quite exciting to see her swing across or make the move across the wall.
Yeah, I think she has to get her feet first, but I didn't really look at this move that well when I was scouting out the route, so I'm not positive how she's going to do it actually. It's going to be really entertaining to see. I know that you can't, or you would be really, really hard pressed to mantle up onto the red and stem across the wall completely. The reason being that those red bolt-on volumes are not like the other volumes. They're just painted. They're very, very slippery, and the route setters did that on purpose, of course. Oh, wow, that's a great way to do it. I think that's got to be the correct way to do it. She did that easier than I suspected, actually.
We just look at the... Yeah, wow.
Yeah, getting the foot across that quickly and that easily, that shows her great flexibility. It's really... And she's making the clip nice, too. Oh, this is really great.
For such a patient climber, she's used up her 6 minutes quite well. She's now got a minute and 40 left, approximately. And she's doing well. She's got about 17 more holds to go. Just round to the left now. And now, what the left remaining section, what we've got to look at is can this be done quickly?
Yeah, the feet actually get semi-bad right here, and in talking to the route setters, it's a fair number of underclings and really body tensioning moves that are going to pump you out, so that by the time you get to the left side, only the strongest will survive. There's just no...
But we've got 8 strong climbers here.
That's true. We'll just see who happens to be the absolute strongest. She's been finding all of the heel hooks and all the toe hooks and pinches and everything, so I think she's doing really, really well for being the first person out. She looks really relaxed, so maybe she's not feeling any pressure and just climbing for fun.
I tell you what, the athletes are thinking, but in isolation, she's been out here a long time. She must be doing a good job, so they know that the standard has been set high.
Yeah, right, and with the crowd noise, they might think she's getting very close to the end now. Wow, she did a great little bicycle move with the inside toe hook, which is just brilliant. Excellent. Ali. Woo! Oh, that was great. Very good effort. You can see her waving to the crowd. I think she's happy. It's tough to tell with Charlotte when she's getting tired because she moves slow, but there at the end you could see her...
Now, we know our graphic said up there. That was an old graphic from the 43 top on the women's semi-final, so she didn't actually top it. The graphic there was incorrect, but that will not happen on the next climb.
Right, got it. Thanks. You can hear the announcer in the background mentioning that one of the other announcers may have spoken too soon, and stating that Charlotte was looking like she was going to do it, and he jinxed her. So even over here in Japan, some people know about the commentator's curse. We're just waiting for the next climber to come out here. We're going to have a small pause. I'll be right back with you. All right, here we are with the next climber, Mina Markovic, coming out to the wall now. She's going to probably know that Charlotte did fairly well, although, as Mike was telling us earlier, the isolation room is fairly far from this from the stage, and they might not be able to hear as well as we think back there. So you never know. She might not know quite how well Charlotte did, but
I don't think they should be able to heard as well as what we can hear in this walk. But there is probably, I'd say there's over 2,000 people here actually.
Yeah.
Just looking on volume, if you look, well, what I normally compare is to a football stadium in sections, and there's easily, if you look, there's probably 50 wide, 25 back, and then all around the seating. I mean, we're looking at a big packed. So there's a lot of noise coming out through here.
Yeah.
But the one thing that they will be conscious of, they'll have known it's a long time since the next person was called.
Yeah.
So Charlotte was out here for pretty much 7.5 minutes, I think, on the wall there.
yeah, somewhere close to that. Yeah, I didn't see when she actually fell, but it had to be close to that, seven and a bit. Yeah.
And what is going to be very important is when if it comes down to Kim Jae-in and Maya Bidmar, it will go down to time. If they both top, because of countbacks, they've done the same throughout the whole competition.
That's right. They've both flashed all three routes, the two qualifying and the semifinals, so they are going to come down to themselves to speedy climbing anyways, because you can't be resting all over the place. The route setters are usually pretty good about not making too many rests, but yeah, at least the time limit keeps everybody moving along. That's a good point. Mina's moving a lot faster than Charlotte, and she seems to be finding most of the tricks. We'll see if she actually ends up heel hooking her handhold here. Oh, no, she did a really deep knee drop instead, which may have caused her to use the left side of her core a little bit more than Charlotte, but Mina's got incredible flexibility, so it probably didn't affect her that much. She is breathing heavily, but she has great stamina. I expect her to recover, at least in this position. She doesn't seem like she's straining to rest at all. Let's see how she moves across. Wow, that's a great shot. That's excellent. With our camera underneath here, you get a great view of that transition to the other wall. Oh, Mina didn't realize that volume has no texture on it. I was mentioning earlier, for those of you just joining us, the red volumes between the walls have no texture, so the red volumes are very hard to hold with just paint. There's no texture on them, and Mina reached up and made a mistake by trying to pinch that red volume. She might have become a little bit tired.
Well, she has got a lot of time compared to Charlotte. Charlotte's about 2 minutes extra, maybe another 90 seconds to get to here.
Oh, yeah.
Mina, although she'll be conscious herself of getting through to the time, she'll know Maya was tied with Kim Jae-in. She want to set a good time herself, although with her countback it won't affect her.
Right. Yeah, she seems to have, at least psychologically, she recovered from making that small mistake there. We'll see if physically it affected her at all. This is the pumpy section, so if she's feeling that little tiny mistake she made earlier, we should notice it in the next 5 moves or so.
She's looking strong though, isn't she?
Yeah, and her flexibility is going to help right here because she can get her hips into the wall a little bit closer than some of the other climbers. That's a great view there. We see her coming around to the left side of the wall. Yeah, see the big deep drop knee. She's actually allows her to chalk her hand first before she grabs that crimp. If she can make this cross, she's going to beat Charlotte. She'll be ahead of Charlotte there. She's ahead of Charlotte now. Oh, the crowd's getting behind her. Come on. Oh, wow. Excellent. Gamba. Wow, she looks extremely good. She doesn't look tired at all. Look at, she's shaking her left hand. She's going to be fine. You see how this pinch affects her. Oh. Come on. Come on. Whoa, she did it. So I guess that mistake in the transition didn't affect her at all. She looked so relaxed. She wasn't feeling any pressure, I bet, and just climbed for fun.
I think she'll be really pleased with that. Obviously, topping 8, she would be pleased, but having not topped in the semi-finals, not having the best qualifications, I think she'll leave this competition knowing that, well, okay, I could have won this if I hadn't have made them mistakes in the earlier rounds.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But even if a few other climbers fall here, and if it comes down to Jain Kim and Maya Vidmar also flashing, and it goes to count back, Mina will still will finish in 3rd, and I think she'll be happy with that.
Well, 5 minutes 54, and I'm going to just try and jump over to Mina and ask how was that. Mina, congratulations. How was that for you?
Thank you. I think the route is really quite easy, and I'm expecting more tops, so I think it won't even be enough for podium because it's really not that hard.
So what happened with you in the semi-finals then?
I don't know, really, because especially after the last competitions, I got my heart back and I did a few really good trainings. I also climbed with guys and feeling really strong. But what was happening till now, I have no idea, really.
Okay, well, that was great to watch. I don't know how hard it is, but you say it's easy. Well, let's see how the rest of the athletes do. Well done, and enjoy your trip back to Europe.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Mina Markovic. Well, it's early days, yeah. It's only 1 top so far. And next, our first Japanese athlete.
Yeah, Akio, I was surprised that Mina suggested that the route might be too easy, given that the route setters felt it was hard 8B instead of easy 8B. But maybe they overestimated the grade a little bit, and we will see a few tops. I think we'll be able to judge possibly by Akio's performance. If she tops out, yeah, we're probably going to see several. You could hear the big ovation from the crowd when she came out, and now the announcers are trying to get the crowd behind her. I suspect with a flash, an onside having occurred just before, people aren't going to really get behind her until she gets to the traverse between the 2 walls. But even if that route happens to be 8A plus, nerves can get to people, pressure can get to people. You have to have a proper warm-up. If you warm up incorrectly, you could be too pumped when you come out, or not pumped, and not having had a good pump in the warm-up, you could not be warmed up fully and have blood moving properly in your arms. All kinds of things can happen, so perhaps Mina just did everything just right, and like I said, felt no pressure, so she raced up the wall in fine fashion there. We'll have to wait and see what happens with Akio. She's moving up into the difficult section with the big black and blue volumes. With her having short pants on, the knee bars are going to be a little bit more painful. We'll see if she finds all of the knee bars.
Well, incidentally, you just mentioned Mina raced at this wall. 5 minutes 54 is her time on the clock, I noticed. So that's the benchmark. I mean, obviously she didn't have the greatest semi-finals and qualifications, so her countback, it wouldn't be affected. But that's the benchmark of what time we're looking at too. She didn't really take her time, so 5 minutes 54, so it's within 6 minutes. It's a good climb. If it does come down to time with Kim and Maya, well, Kim's quite delicate.
Yeah, she climbs slow. Yeah, you're right. That might be a problem. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that could be the decider and could give Maya the gold if they both happen to top out and Maya's the faster climber, which I believe she is. I'm actually surprised that it took Mina 5:54. I thought she was a little bit less than that, but she did end up resting a fair amount in between the two walls, plus with a couple of deep drop knees in the traverse section to the left there. She managed to shake a few times and move perhaps a little bit slower than I thought, but I was just excited to watch her and time flew, I guess.
And Keo doing nicely, straight through that section, got her feet straight across. This is an amazing shot from below.
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, we haven't seen anybody else do this yet, span the walls in order to rest, but Akio's known for her flexibility. Interestingly, the way, she's waving to the crowd trying to get some support. You can hear them in the background. That's great to see, that's really great to see. And she is actually grabbing the hold with her right hand as an undercling and using her bicep to take pressure off her forearms and transfer the pressure to her bicep instead of her forearm. That's a really good technique for saving strength. And here she goes. It looks like she's going to start moving across the transition.
Taking her time though. Now this is like taking the time like Charlotte did, and if she's just getting her energy back for that next section, you say it's going to be quite pumpy for them. How do you think she's doing in her body?
Yeah, she looked really good. Like the way she let go, she released everybody, let out a little oh, because the other climbers haven't done that yet, and she looks fresher even than Mina. And certainly she moves faster than Charlotte. She's only about 5 minutes and 15 seconds into her climb, so she's maybe a little bit slower, or pardon me, 4 minutes and 15 seconds, so she's possibly on time with Mina. We'll see if this pumps her out as she moves to the left, and if she finds the deep knee drops that Mina used to conserve her energy for the final head wall.
What's quite interesting, I'm just looking for there's nothing that really differentiates for height on any of these climbers really. There's no major big moves, so Dinara's coming up next. What have you seen anything that could?
No, I thought maybe the span between the walls might cause a problem for Jae Kim and Dinara, who are our two shortest climbers, and possibly Maya Vidmar, who's also slightly short, but it looks like it's not as far as I thought. And Akio looks really good here. She's actually shaking. Oh, wow, she used a heel hook there. That's interesting. Have to see if when she unwinds, yeah, that's what I was worried about here. She might have used a little too much energy there. Gamba. Come on, Akio, try and shake. Oh, good, she got a good little shake, so if she reaches the next hold, she might be okay. Come on, Akio. I think she spent herself a little bit. Yep, darn it. Good effort, though, by Akio Noguchi.
Wow.
Big applause from the crowd. Yeah, I think she really, it surprised her that she had to dyno to the top of that hold, and that was because she had heel hooked to the left. That's actually probably not the correct way to do that. It causes when your body comes way out from the wall like that, especially when you're grabbing a sloper way above your head, you stretch out so bad that your core takes a ton of tension to reel everything back in, and it cuts off the blood to your forearms, of course, if your core is taking all that blood. I don't think she's going to be extremely pleased with that, but hey, she made the final. She's going to be happy, I'm sure.
I'm sure the home crowd was right behind her.
That's right.
With what she did. Okay, so next climber will be our halfway mark, and wow, hasn't she turned it around in Asia?
Yes, yeah, Dinara looks great, having had a third in Mukpo. I like her chances, and they're just giving a big round of applause to Akio Noguchi, who actually walked over towards our stage here with a big smile on her face. That was great to see. And as Mike was just saying, Dinara was looking great. Third in Mokpo, and came really close to topping out the semi-final. So I think she stands a good chance if Mina Markovic is correct and this route is not that bad, not that difficult. She does stand a good chance of actually doing it. Although, as we just saw, Akio Noguchi did not complete this route, so perhaps Mina's just a little more on form than she thinks. They're actually having a heck of a time getting Akio Noguchi's rope undone. She's standing right in front of us here, and once she gets her rope off, I might run across and grab a word with her really quick just to see how she feels. But we'll keep our eye on Dinara Fakhretdinova for the time being. As we mentioned, Dinara is one of the smaller climbers for the women. It's going to be interesting to see how she does the transition to the left-hand wall. Hi everybody, I just managed to get Akio Noguchi over here. They were having trouble getting your knot undone.
Yes, I finished now, and I'm still pumped because it's so nice route and it's so long for me.
Yeah, I was actually announcing and saying that I was worried as a boulderer, more of a boulderer, this might be a little bit long for you. Did you feel like when you dynoed or you reached way up, your heel hook caused you to swing out when you grabbed the top of the green hold?
Yes.
And did that cause problems? Do you think that caused you to get too tired?
Yes, I'm still tired. But I'm so happy because the route is very good and many Japanese audience cheering for me and I'm so enjoyed.
Yeah, that's great. It's excellent that you made the final in your home country here in Inzai. And I'm sure, are you going to do both boulder and lead next year?
Yes, of course. I want to join World Cup for all. I want to join both, and but I need endurance training for lead.
Okay, great. All right, well, thank you very much for the interview. Omedetou gozaimasu. Hi, bye-bye.
Well, thank you, Kevin, for interviewing Akio. Dinara doing well here. She's definitely taking her time, though. Nearly up to 3 minutes just to get to this top section of this wall. She's about 12 meters up. But she's doing well.
Yeah, she's 3 minutes in and moving a little bit slow, but if she takes a long time, a long rest at the break, the transition here, she might start to come close to Charlotte Derief's time. She's using the heel hook in order to shake out on the purple, and actually she looks like she has a toe cam as well as the heel hook, which is to say the top of her toe is pushing against the wall above the hold. And it causes the heel hook to lock in really nicely, and you can actually release even more pressure on your hands. And she's doing the stem, as you saw with Akio Noguchi. Oh, it's interesting that she got all the way up in there. Wow, as I was saying earlier, whoa, big cheer from the crowd. As I was saying earlier, the route setters actually specifically painted those red volumes with slippery paint, essentially, rather than having grippy sand and epoxy on there, so that people could not do this. They didn't want the climbers necessarily climbing right up in there and getting too big of a rest. Now, of course, when you get up in a position like this, sometimes coming down can actually be very challenging, but she made it look easy. I don't think it's worrying her at all. Wow, she really got a good rest. She might be thinking about her time. She moved out of that rest quite quickly. She might be concerned with her time.
She's got over 3.5 minutes now, and she's seen the route. She knows where she's got to go straight to the left and back over to the right. I think she took her time getting up this roof section, which she may not prefer climbing a roof section now. It's less of an incline compared to that section now, so that could be one of the factors.
Yes, it might be. And she probably just felt like, hey, I got everything I'm going to get back, and I might as well go. Oh, her foot slipped a little bit there. She recovered really quickly, and I didn't see her core tense a huge amount, so I don't think she lost very much there. She kind of let the swing go. She didn't try and stop it, which occasionally if you try and stop a swing, you have to use too much of your core, and all the blood goes to your core and not to your forearms.
She just looked back at the time then. She's got 2 minutes 30.
Yeah. I don't think the time will come into it now that she's moving, but probably when she was in the rest, she might have started to think, hey, I better get moving a little bit. I don't know if she can get the knee bar in that. No, she couldn't get the knee bar, so she is not going to have the advantage that Mina had there. She's looking a little bit tired. Yeah, you can see her elbow coming up. She's looking just a tiny bit tired. Yeah, I'm worried about the cross here for her. Oh, good. She's got the heel. If she can release that heel without swinging too much, no. Shoot. Well, that's too bad. We can see that heel hook is actually causing problems for the girls. When they release it, it really takes too much energy, and I think Mina, by not taking the heel and just bearing down on the left crimp, actually did it the correct way. We'll have to see if any of the other climbers that are still to come do the move that way. I think if you're slightly pumped, of course, you're going to look to the heel hook just to take some pressure off your hand, but I guess Mina's comment about this route being too easy is perhaps not correct, given that the following two climbers who actually finished ahead of her in the semifinal have both fallen, and Dinara was looking extremely good. She even got that huge rest. She's just walking over. She's got a huge round of applause from the crowd, but she looks really disappointed. Yeah, she's shaking her head, and I don't think she's too happy. She knows that Mina probably topped, so I don't think she's too happy. Oh, and we just got the introduction of the next Japanese climber, Momoko Oda, who's coming out, and of course the crowd, having seen Akio Noguchi get so high, I think they're really hoping that Oda can pull off an onside.
I think Momoko Oda, Akio is a boulderer. Akio, Momoka, the lead climber for Japan, world champion. Yeah. Youth world champion, yeah. And what a fantastic climber she is, and she's got many years to come. Massive fans in Europe. Sheila's family, you know Sheila from France.
Yes.
Our biggest support. She's not actually online at the moment. She's away, right. But she'll be watching the replay. So hello to you and your family. Let's wish her she does her country proud.
Yes, for sure. Bonjour Sheila. Just to say hi to Sheila there in French. We'll see if Momoka can match her performance. She has won one World Cup before. For those of you who are just joining us in the final here, we've mentioned it, of course, in the semifinal and the qualifier. And with that experience from the juniors and with a World Cup win, I don't imagine the nerves are going to get to her that much. Yes, they're just announcing in the background that she won her first World Cup this year, so. She is a little bit slower climber. Of course, not as slow as Charlotte Durif, but if she manages to find that rest that Dinara had in the transition, she is going to have to watch her time as well.
Incidentally, actually, Momoka Oda also did compete in the bouldering competitions earlier this year. She attended the Slovenia, the first European World Cup in Dragomir in Slovenia, and very respectable 4th place for her there.
Wow.
Obviously, she won her first Senior World Cup in Imst in gold, and she also competed just after that in Munich a couple of weeks after that, and came 7th in the bouldering. So again, like Akio, all-round skills.
Yeah, and actually in Imst, I don't remember the wall, but it was a little bit longer wall and stamina oriented?
Yeah, Imst is it's about 22 meters, I think. It might be corrected by you guys watching in Austria. It's a huge wall. It's a fantastic wall for me. I think it's beautiful. That it looks like a scorpion coming out of the landscape if you actually go there to Imst, which is such a beautiful location.
Great.
But yeah. Definitely a more stamina designed route compared to what we have here. This is a lot more bouldery and shorter route.
Yeah, although this particular route is actually fairly stamina oriented.
This one's quite stamina, but even all the moves, they're not so crimpy, are they? And
yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's actually good route setting, of course. Again, if we don't see too many tops, that is. They'll have split the group up nicely, but yeah, it doesn't look like they're trying to kill the girls with crimps or anything. They do have the big moves between slopers, the big open handers.
Well, if we just have a look at the routes at the moment, she's just about to cross over. There you can see the top 3, Mina, Akio and Dinara Fakudanova, in 3rd place. They're spread out. So the route setting at the moment, yes, we've had one top early on, but that was Mina Markovic.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
So let's go back into Mamoka.
Yeah, and occasionally that happens where the climber coming out 7th or 8th is just thinking, I had a rough one in the semifinal. I'll just go out and climb and see how I do. Yeah, and they end up really being so relaxed that they climb it easily, and then they are convinced that it's too easy. I know my hardest on-sites that I've ever done were usually, they felt easy, and I thought that can't possibly be XYZ grade. But in the end, most other people, they struggle on it and say, no, that was really hard for the majority of people. You just did it exactly right on your first go, and you're in good shape right now. So Mina, probably I suspect that's what's happened, and we are not going to see everyone top this route.
No, but I do think if there's going to be someone from Japan, it's going to be Mamoka Oda. Well, it has to be now.
Well, it has to be now, yeah.
But,
yeah, she does have a better chance, and she seems to be moving just fine. She didn't get right up in the transition like Dinara and find that essentially no hands rest up in the transition, but probably she won't need it. Her time, she's fine on time, of course, but she's working that left hand hold a lot more than I thought she would. Oh, good, she's found that knee drop a little bit, take some pressure off her hands. As she moves to the left, if she finds the knee drop, especially out on the left, I guess it's a teardrop looking jug underneath the roof there. If she finds that, she can take some pressure off her hands once she gets to the end of the traverse and get some of her strength back for these final difficult moves at the V-shaped volumes.
Only 18 years of age.
She did not use that. She drop kneed really high on the pink and made that move look real easy, but she did not use the left foothold like Mina did to take some weight off of her hands.
And she also didn't rest in the gap in between either, so.
She's really struggling. I'd be surprised if she makes it too many more holds, but wow. She's a little concerned with it. Come on. She's where Akio was now. She tied with Akio, so on count back, I guess she's going to beat her. It's what it looks like to me. It's not official, of course, but great effort by both Japanese climbers.
Great effort.
Mina is just, she's looking better and better here.
Well, Mina was saying, she thinks a lot of people top, she found it easy. That section, you clearly pointing out, if they're getting tired to get across that cross section, wow.
Yeah, not going to see as many top outs as certainly as Mina thought, because she thought everyone's going to do it. She already said that, and that's not happened. But if Jae-in Kim and Maya Vidmar both do top out, we go to time.
For those two, it's going to be for them too. But let's not count. We haven't really mentioned her yet. She won gold in the chinning.
That's true.
She's on form all season. She did have a lapse last week on career, but come on, she's human. So, and she did say she wasn't feeling well. Joanna Ernst coming out next.
That's right. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not counting her out, of course. It's just that Giant Kim and Maya Vidmar did flash all of the problems, so I'm focused a little bit too much on them, quite possibly. I apologize for that. We'll see how Joanna does here. She's just coming to the base of the wall. I'll try and grab a word with Momoko Oda in Japanese really quick, and I'll leave you with Mike for 1 sec, or do you want me to?
I'd say let's try and get some interviews on the break. We've got a 45 minutes to fill of, so let's. Okay. I know you guys all want to have a try to hear them interviews, but we've got 45 minutes to kill, and let's let them unwind. Joanna on the wall.
Just starting out. You can see on Joanna's hands. Some people in the chat occasionally comment on this, and they wonder why it looks like from the back, it looks like her hands, like she has gloves on, white gloves, right? If they zoom in on her hands a little bit, I'm not sure that our cameras are doing that right now, but no, they aren't, and we can't. But the reason the back of her hands are really white like that, of course, the front of her hands would be white from the chalk, sticking her hands in a chalk bag, but most climbers nowadays use something called liquid chalk, which is basically chalk mixed with a little bit of alcohol and occasionally a tiny bit of resin, and it ends up sticking. Obviously, it dries your hands out so that you don't have a bunch of oil in your hands from dinner or from just sweating throughout the day. And of course, they rub it all over their entire hand. And that's why you get that residue on the back of the hands that kind of doesn't go away, because you tend not to sweat on the back of the hands and you're not rubbing against the wall and rubbing off the chalk. A lot of climbers say that it helps. Some climbers don't feel that it helps that much, but Sean McCall also uses a ton of that liquid chalk, well, uses a little bit of that liquid chalk before he gets going, and it looks like he uses a ton of chalk. Oh, she's not even bothering with the knee bars there. I could see her face a little bit as she turned towards me on that move, and she did have to grunt a little bit. Hopefully skipping that knee bar isn't gonna wear her out at all. Of course, she's got excellent stamina. I doubt that she's even remotely concerned with her stamina at the moment. See which version of the crossover she does here, whether she heel hooks or does the Mina Markovic drop knee. She's doing the Mina Markovic drop knee there. Nice. She got to the big red volume at the transition fairly quickly. She has used about 3 minutes, almost 3 minutes of her time. So she's not going to have to worry about her time at all. She can rest quite comfortably, I think. Well, there's a slightly different way of doing it. Oh, wow, and she's going to clip from there, too. She must be feeling really comfortable. That's good. Let's see if she can... There we go. Don't see any problems. We'll see how she handles the traverse here. Of course, this is where it gets pumpy. Oh, good. She's going to get the big drop knee, as long as her foot doesn't pop like Dinara's. Oh, good. She's keeping her feet on the wall really nice and stemming. quite well. We'll see if she uses the lower hold to kind of shake out a little bit, or if she just steps up high like... Oh, she is using the lower hold and a severe drop knee on the pink hold like Momoko Oda had, just with the lower left foot hold. Her shoulder came up a little bit there. It's usually a sign of that she's getting a bit tired. Oh, and she's crossed underneath. None of the other girls crossed underneath, so it'll be interesting to see if she can unwind easily. Come on, good. Wow, well, her left hand looked pretty good. She's resetting. She might be a little concerned with this hold and whether she can get to the left hand hold without slipping. Come on, Joanna. She may have made a mistake and her right hand is giving out a bit. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. That means Mina has a medal.
Yes, she's guaranteed podium at the worst third place.
The very worst third place.
That's going to help her
Joanna
confidence
Ernst.
next week, and she won't lose too many points even if she does happen to get beaten here. But her performance is looking better and better. And Joanna, I think she hesitated a little too much, particularly with the right hand hold on top of that V-shaped volume there. You just have to set your foot, use momentum, get up to the left hand hold, and keep moving. Otherwise, if you try and reset 2 or 3 times there, you're just too stressed out and you're going to get too pumped and fouled like she did.
Well, Joanna, what a shame. But no, Maya Vidmar back on form this tournament. She's matched Kim Jae-in through the whole tournament, and this is what we were talking about. It could go down to time. She's underway here. What a fantastic, how fantastic to see her back on form after an up and down season.
Yeah.
It took her a while to get onto the podium, and she did that in Atlanta. Then downhill the last couple of competitions, and here, strong as ever.
Yeah, at the beginning of the Asian Tour, obviously, she had some bad go of it in Xining, and also in Mokpo didn't do as well. But she seems to have reset herself here in Japan. I know, for those of you who didn't join us earlier in the qualifications and semifinal, I was climbing at Yuji Hirayama's gym on the other side of Tokyo. The gym is called Base Camp. It's a great little gym, and the entire Slovenian team showed up. And Maya was actually on the wall quite a bit, just moving around, and sometimes just being able to move in between competitions is, it allows you to, I guess, just be in the feel, or have the feel for climbing, instead of getting what the French call phlegmatic, which is to say you can't breathe properly. If you don't climb essentially every day, taking 2 days off is fine. Taking 3 or 4, you start to feel it, and by the 5th day off, wow, yeah, you can be out of sorts. And in between the competitions, these athletes sometimes don't have time to get to a gym and train, so she may have been just noticing that, and now that she's had a chance to climb it at base camp, she's feeling a lot better, it looks like.
I just tried to speak to her. Anna, she says she didn't know what happened there. She just, in the mind, she wanted to do something different, but she just didn't do what her mind told her to.
Okay, but, that's too bad. Occasionally, if you do make a tiny mistake, like you said, you get flustered, and all of a sudden your mind shuts off a little bit, and you just kind of sink back into animal mode and start pawing at things instead of thinking about what you're doing, and that may have been what happened with Joanna.
Good morning to everybody in Europe, by the way. We've got quite a few people waking up now. Well done for getting up early on a Sunday morning. It's now Sunday afternoon, late afternoon here, or mid-afternoon. I'm not sure what time of day it is because it's so dark in here. So good morning to you in Europe, and a very good evening to everybody in California and East Coast America who've been with us for most of the competition.
Yes, good morning everybody and good afternoon everybody. Good afternoon here in Japan, or if you're happen to be joining us from Australia.
And Australia, good afternoon. Yeah, we have a large contingent of Australian fans, which we met a lot of them in the Youth World Championship, so hello to you guys. So not much interaction in the chat. Who is going to win this competition here out of the women? We've got one of the podiums secured. It'll be Mina Markovic. We don't know which side, which position.
Yeah, it might come down to the 2 out of the 3 that I forecast before we got started, which is to say Jae-in Kim and Maya Vidmar. Oda Momoka is not going to make the podium, but she did climb quite respectably. And Maya's moving great. She's got the same sort of splits as Akio had. Should be able to rest nicely. Yeah, she looks really relaxed. She's moving fast enough that she could take a longer rest there if she wanted. Oh, she's done the same thing. Oh, goodness.
Same as Mina.
Yeah, Mina reached up and touched that volume and went, whoa, I'm not going to go that way, and came back down. But Maya just powered through straight up to the right-hand crimp. That was very impressive. Yeah, she didn't strain at all. I don't think she blew her left hand out at all. She should be fine. We'll see if she starts to move through, if she finds all the drop knees and stays in good position to make the clips. This is a slightly more strenuous clip than some of the other girls have found, with their left foot spanned all the way out to the green hole to the left.
Incidentally, last year that she started to find her form towards the end of the season, and Cranch and Barcelona her best 2 results last season. So a late performer in the season for Maya.
Yeah, maybe that's part of her MO. She just comes out at the end of the season and kills it and wins a couple comps. We'll see if this traverse gets to her at all. She's shaking even in the middle of the moves, so she looks completely fine right now. She does the big drop knee, yeah, save a bunch of strength. She's not rushing at all, so I think everything's going to plan. She is using the heel hook. We'll see how this affects her when she releases this heel hook. Wow, now that's how it's done. She barely moved as she released that heel hook, and I think she looks like she might top. Her right arm's coming out a little bit. Yep. Wow. You can see her grab her right arm. It pumped out immediately as soon as she grabbed that right crimp.
Well, that's silver or bronze. That means Mina is gold or silver, respectively. So
that's a surprise.
2 civilians on the podium. She's got 49 plus. I saw on that score there. She was very close. That will push Joanna Ernst possibly out of the medals now with Kim Jae-in, but hey, Kim is human as well.
Yeah, that's right. You never know. We'll see if
have a lapse.
If she hits the sequences all, I like her chances, but we have seen a few people make even minor mistakes, like Joanna, and pump out really, really quickly on that head wall. Maya didn't even seem to make any mistakes there. She just, when she grabbed the right hold up top, the right crimp, her right hand gave out on her super quickly. And the crowd goes crazy as Kim Jae-in is introduced here. We're starting to get to standing room only here at the back there. The crowd is pretty much all on its feet behind the seats.
And if they're not on the seats, they're on the edge of the seats.
That's right.
This is going to be a exciting climb now. Massive fans all around the world. Kim Jae-in. I'll just a few more people from York waking up. You'll go back to see a fascinating finish to the final. We've got 2 Slovenians on the podium, and we're going to wait to see if it's going to be 2 Slovenians and an Austrian, or 2 Slovenians and a Korean.
That's right. We only have one more climber. Kim Jae-in is our last climber. She's just starting out now. We didn't see any problems with Maya that were height problems, any reaches where there were no feet or anything like that. So I don't foresee any problems for Jain with her height. It's really just whether she hits these sequences correct or not. They're just mentioning in the background here that last week, for those of you who missed it, Kim Jae-in did win the World Cup in Mokpo last week, along with her countryman Hun Bin Min, who has also made our final here and will be coming out to climb for the men. We'll see how they do. We were, of course, the hometown crowd was hoping for a 1-2 punch with the men and the women getting podiums from both Sach Amma and Oda Momoka or Akio Noguchi, but we're going to have to wait to see if Sach can take the podium or hopefully take first place. Oh, that's interesting that she's keeping her weight really low, keeping her hip down to keep pressure on that hold as she moves. You gotta love the way she moves. It's like dance. It's great. She actually reminds me of French climbers in that way. She moves fairly slowly, methodically, and
Okay, a couple of people just while we're watching Kim Jae-in's climb are asking what's happening next to the men's final. There will be a reset of the route because the women's route has a crossover and so does the men's, but the crossover needs to change over, and there's going to be a maximum change of 45 minutes before the end of this and the men's start. So that's if anyone are wondering why. It's going to take a little bit of break in between. So we're watching Kim Jae-in here, the last of the women climbers. The men's finals will follow very shortly afterwards.
right. Yeah, please do stick with us. The men's competition is going to be just as exciting as this women's competition has been. If, of course, Kim Jae-in does manage to top out, she will win based on count back. But at the moment, Mina Markovic is the only one to have successfully climbed this rather long traversing final route here. The route setters estimated the grade, for those of you who weren't with us at the beginning of the broadcast, they estimated the grade at 8B, hard 8B they actually said. It might be a little more on the easy 8B side, I don't know, but if only Mina does it, they might be correct, it might be a hard 8B.
If I was grading it, I'd probably 7C with my climbing skills, but I might be just a bit biased there.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, I'd love to get on the route, but I highly doubt I would get anywhere near as far as these ladies, that's for sure. Yeah, she didn't have any trouble with her height, although she chose to drop down kind of at an interesting way there. Hopefully that didn't stress her fingers at all.
What is surprising is the time it's taking. She's 4.5 minutes to here. It's not too bad actually. I would have thought she'd take a little bit more time. She did take a little longer time in the roof section.
Right.
Just moving up to that great volume, but looking fine now.
Yeah, she didn't take an excessive amount of time in the transition.
In the gap,
yeah, so I don't think she's going to be too worried about it. Especially we've seen as soon as the girls get into this traverse, there's not enough holds, enough spots to take big rests so they can climb for more than a minute or so. So she's got over 2 minutes left. I don't see a problem with time. Wow, she looks really solid there, leaning back, getting a nice rest. being shorter, which she might have to do what Momoko Oda did here, which is to say use the higher left foothold. Once she grabs this left pinch, the green pinch, she might put her foot all the way up high. No, she's done what several of the other girls have done, and she's using the bigger lower foothold. You can see her even stretching out her forearms a little bit on her thighs, which is to say she still has good blood flow, and her core's not letting go at all. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, we'll see.
Very strong right hand grip there.
Yeah, she's crossing underneath. Oh, nice. She's using her lower body a lot more than it looks like there, but yeah, she reached up quite easily. Wow.
This could be it.
Yeah, she's even chalking where Joanna Ernst pumped out, so this pinch is not as good as it looks, so it might be a challenge to get it. Nope, she's there. No! Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And that's it. Mina Markovic has won.
Wow, she's won, and it also jumps ahead on the overall.
That's right. They're going to reverse positions in the overall.
I do
oh
feel
my goodness.
Kim Jae-in waiting to see. She's so disappointed. She
Yeah.
had the grip,
Yeah.
and all she had to do was clip. Well, I can say that quite easily. But
Yeah,
wow.
she had no foot, and her foot just didn't swing back into the right position, and she slid off. Wow. What an interesting finish to this competition.
Wow. So that was it. We spoke to her just earlier. I'm going to speak to her properly on camera in a minute, but Mina, quick thought?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Okay, surprise. We'll talk to Mina on camera in a minute. She's just going to take her breath. And also a few other athletes will try and get some interviews. We're just going to pull up the full results. Let's just have a look if they've been updated. Kim Jae-in just a bit bemused, really. Also, Maya Vidmar on the podium as well. Congratulations to her. Kevin, what a final.
Yeah, the Slovenians are going to finish 1-2 here. That's great. I can actually see them. They're very close to us. They're both grinning, and Oh, of course, yes. First and third. Mina just corrected me because Kim Jae-in is going to finish ahead of Maya Vidmar, pardon me. But two Slovenians on the podium, and they've got to be happy with that. We're going to have the lights coming back on as the route setters try and get ready here.
These results to come through. Well, what we've got here is Mina Markovic on top. Maya Vidmar is on plus 49. So is Maya in higher than Kevin?
No, actually,
I think it's so no.
Mina, Mina just corrected me. It's actually
Kim just got the touch on the hole. She's in the break, so she will be in second.
Yeah, exactly. We will wait, of course, for the official results, but as far as we can tell, it's going to be Mina and Jae-in Kim and Maya Vidmar.
Okay, let's get Mina on camera and get some questions through the chat if you have anything. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Kevin to interview Mina. Kevin, the former World Cup climber. Kevin Wilson from Canada. He's going to interview Mina Markovic on what a fantastic win. Mina Markovic.
Congratulations, Mina. That was really impressive. You were actually, when you came off the wall, you said the route was easy and you thought everyone was going to climb it. Why is that?
I don't know. When I came down from the wall, I said what I thought, and I personally really thought that the route was easy and there would be more tops. Maybe just one girl would do some little mistake. And these results maybe a little surprised me, but as I already said before, I felt that I'm really strong, and I don't know what was happening in the previous rounds.
Yeah, so in the semifinal you had a tough go and barely made it into the finals. Do you think you just were so relaxed and thinking, I'll just go out and climb and see how I do, and you hit all the sequences exactly right and everything just worked out perfectly?
No, I'm not really sure that it was it, but I think it was more a mistake in semifinals. When I came up, I was really good, and then I had some idea what to do with feet when I came up, and it definitely wasn't the right one, and then I was looking for the solution for half a minute, and all the power was just spending around, and then I just did something with not really attitude to do it.
Right, I understand. And now with this win and Jain coming in second, it looks like you're going to reverse positions in the overall, where you have enough points to move into first place and Jain will move down to second place, I believe, because I think there's only a 13-point difference between you right now, so you'll switch places, I believe. So going into Kranja, your home country of Slovenia, you're going to probably have the lead in the overall. Does that put any more pressure on you, or are you comfortable at home climbing for your home audience?
As I think, maybe I was in 13 points even before.
Oh yes, of course.
So I'm just happy that I finally climb and get this one, because all year it was like I don't know, first, second, or even climb some finals really well, but was placed a little lower because of semifinals, like it almost happened today again. But I don't know, to Kran I definitely have 2 or 3 weeks and I could prepare my home wall what is a strong point for me, and I'm looking forward to Kran and to everyone to come support me.
Great. Yes, I apologize. That's correct. You were in first place. My mistake. I had the names backwards in my head. So you're actually going to have a little bit more of a lead in Kranja, which might make you feel a little bit better, but still you're going to have to put in a good performance to get the overall in front of your home crowd. So good luck to you in Kranja and congratulations on your win.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Kevin and Mina, for that interview. And we're now going to interview Maya Vidmar. Now, second podium in 3 competitions. Okay, you had a bit of a mix in Shinning and Mokpo, but how do you feel?
But today I feel really good, and I also climbed good. Yeah, I'm really happy for that.
You climbed very well through the whole competition. 2 tops in the qualifications, top in semi. Yeah. Yep. So much. Same climb as Kim Jae-in, the world champion. What is the reason for this?
I don't know. I just want to climb like I did before China. I knew that I could get feelings back, and yeah, we were training in one good gym, and today I feel good. I focused just on the route, and yeah, I did it good.
You obviously went to the gym before here after Korea. How much training did you do? Was it because you did not do much training before that, or?
Like at home, nothing special. It was just I wanted just to get feelings back and do some hard moves, some hard route that I feel back in the game.
So you're feeling strong again. Incidentally, I was looking at your results last year. You finished well in Barcelona and Kranj, 5th of both of them. And at the end of this year, you're finishing strong. Are you better at the end of the year?
No, but in the beginning I had some problems with my finger. Now it's okay, and now it's good. So yeah, slowly or not so slowly, I don't know, I came back.
Okay, well, congratulations. Now, going into your next competition, how excited are you going to be performing in Kranj? Is that your hometown?
It's not really my hometown, but it's only 10 kilometers away.
Okay, so that's your hometown, 10 kilometers.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this competition. It's in Kranj. Every time I climb good there, and yeah, after this competition I had also good feeling for.
Okay, well, all the best. Thank you very much for talking to us, and I will see you in Kranj. and we'll watch you on the podium. Well done.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, that was Maya Vidmar. Now, giving me a couple more minutes and I'm going to get Kim Jae-in. I want to know what happened on that fall. Give me a few seconds and I'll be back with you. Okay, I'm now with Kim Jae-in. Well done or unlucky. How was that climb for you?
I think today my shape was quite good, so I was confident. But before the final, I really wanted to complete the route. But
What happened at the end there?
I think the last one I made a little bit fast. Yeah, I should more fast.
Okay, and did you just slip? Did not have a?
Yeah, I got the last one, but the swing is a little bit big.
Yeah.
So
Swinging out.
yes.
And the momentum.
Yes.
Okay, well done. So I didn't get a full chat to you last week because of the media. How was it climbing in Korea and winning?
In Korea.
Yeah. How amazing was that?
You mean in?
Yeah. Last week, how good was it to win in Korea?
It was awesome. Yeah, Korea is my country. Yeah, everybody cheering me. So even I didn't get the top, I was so happy. Yeah, it's awesome.
Very well done. I didn't get a proper chance to speak to you because of the media, so well done. You have many fans and friends around the world watching you. Would you like to say anything in Korean?
Korea. 일단 예선 준결 결승 완등을 너무 하고 싶었는데 마지막에 너무 성급하게 가서 완등을 못해서 너무 아쉽고요. 그래도 재밌게 경기 즐긴 것 같아서 네 기쁘고 그리고 마지막 월드컵에서도 좋은 등반하겠습니다. 네 감사합니다.
Okay, thank you very much, Kim Jae-in. Well done, and we'll see you on the podium. Thank you very much. Okay, that was Kim Jae-in. Now I do have one more interview we're going to get done. I'm going to try and find the IFSC president, Marco Scolaris. He has travelled back to Europe from Korea and come back to us for this World Cup. So if you give us a few minutes and I'll get him for you. Okay, so just bear with us. We're going to get some more interviews for you. Marco is just out, I think, preparing for the awards ceremony, which will happen after the men's finals. I'd like to know your thoughts in the chat. What you think of the routes? Was it a good competition? And then we're going to start reviewing the men's competition, which is happening in about 25 minutes to half an hour's time. They're just rearranging the routes. So it was the women's that went from the right to the left with a crossover, and then now going to be the men's left to the right with a crossover. Maybe quite a surprise for some of the men, or not?
ているんですよ。疲れた。あれ交代で時間余裕だったらあそこ行くといいっすよ。やべえです。やばいさとは。
Okay, Kevin, we're just waiting for the route setters. Now we've had a time to take a breather. We're going to have a chat with Marco Scolari very shortly. How was that for you?
It was great. It was really interesting. I can't believe that Mina came off the wall thinking it was so easy and that everyone was going to do it. I actually managed to just track down Dinara Fakritinova, who she admitted that she doesn't speak the greatest English, but through some other languages and through some pantomiming and things, we got some questions answered. And she said when she got up into the rest, where she was stemming between the two walls, there was no need to stay there for that long because she honestly wasn't that tired. Because I was surprised actually that she came down so quickly, right? And she said, no, I just wasn't tired. I wasn't really worried about my time. I just wasn't tired. And I thought, oh, I'll just keep moving along. She was a little disappointed with the route in the sense that it didn't feel like a final. She felt like it didn't get her going until she got pumped at the end. Because there weren't any really hard moves at the beginning. She was just kind of strolling along, and then all of a sudden, bam, there's a couple really hard moves that pumped her out. And I asked her, are you disappointed? And she really closed her eyes and shook her head and just went, I'm so disappointed. So I think she was really expecting a lot more out of herself, and especially with the podium last week and the really good finish in the semifinal. I think she was really, really, really hoping for a podium, and not getting there is shaking her up a little bit.
Oh, that just, I think what you've just told me there, the route setting has been very good then. Every round has been slightly different. If she started off easy and then suddenly surprised with some pumps, that's a bit of a twist that the route setters have added in there, and it's something she'll take in to future World Cups thinking, hang on, something's going to be around the corner. And so very interesting that she said that, and maybe that section that Mina went through didn't actually find it that easy, and that's why she found the whole route a lot easier. Shall we try and get another interview from the Austrians, or we can even get the team coach Roman from Slovenia. Let me, if you can hold the fort, and I'm going to try and get some interviews lined up for us.
Okay. Great, thanks, Mike. Yeah, with the downtime, like Mike was saying, the routes, that was just Dinara's personal opinion that I was giving you. I think, from my personal opinion, although I haven't climbed them, they do look really, really good, the routes, so I'm not worried about it at all. I think we're going to set up another interview. Just give me 1 second here.
Okay, I've tracked down Joanna Ernst. Kevin's going to join me for this interview. We're just going to sandwich you in. How was that climb for you? What happened?
I don't know. I felt pretty good in the beginning and was, I don't know, up there I was pumped, but I could still go on. But my head just clicked out and I don't know.
Kevin was describing the top section where you actually just ran out of steam. What was it the point?
Yeah, I was just saying that when you crossed over on the 2V volumes, it seemed like when you went up, you were fine, but then you changed your mind or something didn't quite feel right, and all of a sudden you panicked. Is that about right?
Yeah, I was there with this and I thought like I should go this. And I thought it, but didn't do it. I was like, it didn't work here. That was weird.
So just not quite having it at the right, not being in the right position, and then just dropped you just outside the podium. Now, you finished 4th quite a few times this year. What can you do to change that, to get back into podium next week in Cranj or 3 weeks in Cranj?
Nothing, I guess, but for next year, maybe train a little, I guess.
Have you not been training very hard?
Not hard, no. That's the reason. But I'm still happy, so it's like, I don't know, it's good.
It's quite interesting. Joanna, you say you didn't climb that much. Did you climb? Did you train so much when you were competing on the world circuit?
Yeah, we trained too much, probably. In the old days, we didn't know enough about resting and proper eating. And actually, my brother and I never ever made it to Spain when it was the last World Cup of the year because one of us or both of us were so badly injured we had to return home. So I think training and nutrition, lots of ideas surrounding climbing have come a long way. And especially with the Austrian team, you have help, you have a coach, you have trainers, you have people that help you out, which is great. That's great to see. And are you going to get to go home and train before Kranja?
Yeah, sure. Psyched to go home.
Psyched to go home. We're all psyched to go home. Hage has been great, but we're all psyched to go home. What time do you go tomorrow?
Early, like 9:30 is our flight.
Oh, you beat me. I get to leave at 11. Anyway, so what will you be doing on the out season? So after Cranj, before March, how much time holiday or relaxing before you start training?
I don't know, maybe a month. Just having holidays. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Are you going on holiday camp? Are you going to the beach or?
On Iceland?
Island, not Iceland, an island.
I was confused. Like flying away, far away from everything, just didn't do anything.
No webcasts.
No web.
No interviews.
So, no mobile phone, no service. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. No more Mike, and she gets a please. Okay, no more Dan either. Dan will be back with us in Cranj. Daniel, my colleague, he'll be back in Cranj.
Oh, okay, nice. He was in Atlanta, right?
Yes, my fellow interviewer. Okay, well, thank you. No, I'll be there. Of course I'm there. I'm always there. Okay, thank you very much for speaking to us, and enjoy the men's final.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Joanna, thank you, Kevin, for that. Now, we're just going to count down the clock. What we're going to do in a minute is speak to Kevin. Kevin's going to speak to Marco Scolari. Aha! Speak of the devil. Right, I'm going to leave. This is Marco. I think if you do not know who he is now, I'm not going to bother explaining. I'm going to leave that to Kevin. Kevin, Marco.
Great, thanks, Mike. Are you feeling a little bit better today, first of all?
A little bit, yeah.
That's good. Marco's been a little bit under the weather, for those who don't know. What did you think of the women's final here? Was it entertaining for the crowd? Was it what you expected?
Well, first of all, since this morning, the crowd is amazing. I mean, they really participate like hell and make the atmosphere really hot. So this is something that I like, but especially the climbers sure really appreciate.
Yeah, and they don't just climb or just cheer for the Japanese climbers. Of course, they're cheering for everyone.
But this happens everywhere. I must tell you, this is our audience is made by fantastic people. They really cheer to anybody, no matter which country or whatever.
Yeah, that's great. Actually, in Canmore, when we were together last time, in my home country of Canada, the crowd was the second loudest they'd ever heard. I think, someone told us that we had a decibel meter or something. So it's true. The crowds do get behind everyone.
we beat the records at each and every competition. So yeah, quite proud. Well, about the women's final, it was great. You know, when in the beginning she was the second to start, Mina made it to the top. I had some route setters close to me and said, "Oh my God, we will have 4 at the top." I said, "Well, let's wait until the end because I'm not so sure we'll have any other at the top." Okay, Jain was very close, but in any case, I think that Mina made a very, very good performance. And it's actually what we like to see, one at the top and the others close.
Yeah, the route setting I think was essentially perfect. I don't know if we had any actual ties that needed to be broken in the final, maybe one, but yeah, I think the route setting has been phenomenal all weekend long, especially they've had a bit of challenge with the thin walls, but they made the routes go back and forth and made them a little longer than the 15-meter height, so they're great.
Yeah, you probably know that there was the intention of the organizers and JMA to make it bigger, and then after the earthquake, the laws, the obligation have been turned into stricter and stricter. But I think it's enough. I mean, I don't know, it's 12-meter high, 13-meter high, I think it's enough.
I think they said it was 15 meters high, but I could be wrong. Maybe is it?
Maybe a little less.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It depends on the quality of the route setting. They are able to make good routes even on shorter walls, and this proved that even with a smaller facility you can offer a beautiful show.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we don't always have to go to huge facilities. We don't always have to go to huge cities. As you were telling me earlier, we can come to smaller places like this. Inzai only has 90,000 people. It is close to a metropolitan center where people can come out and watch, but honestly, I bet you half the crowd is from this very area or very close to the area.
Yeah, this is a reflection that we were doing also in Mokpo 1 week ago. And in the past we were saying, oh, maybe we need more visibility or better image, so we go to the big city. But then when you go to the big cities, you are just one event lost among many, many others, and maybe nobody cares. So I think that at the moment this is a good choice. We are, mixing big cities with a smaller town or whatever. I think it's working.
Great, yeah, and we have one more competition coming up in Kranja. Will you be there? Of course you will be. It's the final competition. What do you expect there? Tomo Chesson always puts on a good show, yeah.
Absolutely, and not only that, Tomo since many years has been able to cover the event with live TV, and this means that once again we will offer, with the help of the Slovenian TV, a great show for our viewers on the IFSC TV and hopefully the YouTube.
Yeah, and the Slovenians, of course, are going to be incredibly psyched, given that Mina Markovic is leading the overall, and having won here, she's poised to win the overall for the entire year.
Actually, Mina was on the podium in, you know that she missed the World Championship because of her injury. She was on the podium in Mokpo, and she was a little disappointed because she didn't get the gold, and said, hey Mina, you will get the gold in Krani. Actually, she got the gold here. So, well, let's see. And the crowd again in Krani is crazy, and the venue is always sold out, the television, and they really, I hope that Mina can, as you say, survive the pressure. She will have a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's amazing because Slovenia actually is, I can't remember the population statistics for Slovenia, but it's a fairly small country, but it has a massive climbing population. Like, all of my friends from Slovenia climb. It's amazing.
It is amazing, yes. Again, I don't want to say how many million, but just a few million. I think it's less than 3 million. But all of them go hiking, all of them go to the mountains, and so many of them are climbers. So it is really amazing. The share of the broadcast for the finals of the World Cup is really huge. It's really amazing.
So is the Slovenian Climbing Association, I mean, of course they've been doing years and years of these competitions. They must have everything worked out, so we have a nice smooth competition at the end of the year. That must be a bonus for you.
Usually it's like that, but you never know. Actually it's the Slovenia Association and the Tomo Chesson family who has been involved from the very beginning, I think 20 years now, and they know what they do, yeah.
Since you and I were young. All right, well great. Thanks very much for your help today, and I'm sure that Mike and Daniel Finn will be back broadcasting in Slovenia, and they'll get your opinion there as well. Appreciate it. All right, thank you very much.
Ladies
Okay, the scaffolds have just been moved away. Not long left, or they've just been turned around. Let's have a look at the men's start lists. So once again, 8 of them. And again, this competition is also important for quite a few of the guys. 4 of them are the top 4 in the rankings, are all spread out across. Well, the top 3 of them are the top, they'll be climbing last. So we start with Romain de Grange, Sean McCall, Hyun Bin Min, last week's gold medalist, Magnus Mitbo, who is extremely on form after this week, after the last 2 climbs, qualifications and semi-finals. Mario Lechner, Sachiyama, Jakob Schubert and Ramon Julien Puigdong. Now, just incidentally, what we're talking about is their World Cup rankings. This is the IFSC World Cup rankings. This is how they are at the moment before this competition finishes. Obviously, it will change after this with these points. So 455 for Sachi, Ramon 439, Sean McCall 404. We think it's a bit far out for Jakob Schubert to take a medal, the gold medal on the overall. This is the latter end of the world rankings. But it's definitely between Sachi and Ramon, and possibly Sean McCall. But Sean McCall, if you notice here in the start lists, he comes out second. Bit of the same boat as Mina Markovic, so we can't write out any order how they could finish, but didn't climb so well as some of the other climbers have done. I've definitely be putting Magnus Mitbo up there. He's climbed extremely well this competition. Sachiyama in his home competition, and Jakob Schubert, you can never count him out. And Ramon, the only one to top. Well, we'll have to wait and see. So, men's finals starting very soon. Don't go away.
World up. Keep climbing.
Okay guys, the scaffolds are out of the way and we're about to be going live to the men's finals and the introduction of them climbers. So
World up. Keep climbing.
just give us a few minutes, just one final ladder has come out to place. I think they're just going to change a couple of things, just a couple more screws to be changed. And then the men's will be brought out. We have the last IFSC World Cup final from Asia. Thank you for staying with us. We are live in HD on YouTube and on the IFSC.tv channel. So, who is going to win? Sachiyama coming back, hasn't won since Chamonix and Briançon, Kevin? Or is it Ramon? Golds in Pers and Atlanta. Bit of a disaster in Jining. Very good attempt last week, but then had a horrible slip halfway. Jakob Schubert, world champion in Paris. Hasn't won a World Cup this year, dominated last year. Sean McCall. I mean, Sean McCall, gold in Jining. Podium last week as well. Hyun Bin Min, super strong, gold in his home country last week. I mean, anyone, everything's loose. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. I think Jakub actually was looked the most stressed on the semi-final, even though he managed to do it. He really was managed to get to the last hold, the last yellow hold. He really was grunting. So I hope he didn't try too hard, and he's able to recover. Sean seemed like he was starting to feel better, and when we did talk to him, he said, "No, I'm happy to be where I am. That's fine. I'll go into the final and give it my best." And I like his shot for a podium, and Sach, of course, with the crowd behind him, I still like for first place. But Ramon's just looking so strong. He might walk all over everybody and take this thing down.
And then you've also got Romain de Grage. We can't back out anyone here. The French wizard, really. He's been around for quite a number of years. He took bronze in Atlanta and in Pers. But he's had a dominant, very strong season all round. So he's he can definitely get on the podium. And who else? Hyun Bin Min,
yeah.
gold medal last week.
Yeah, that's only his second podium, or second final, if I remember correctly. I think he was 7th at one point before that, but then he came out of, came out of nowhere, but he certainly climbed his best and ended up winning last week in Mokpo. And of course, we can't forget Magnus Midtbo. Magnus Midtbo hasn't won a World Cup, but he certainly is fit enough. If he hits his stride and gets the right route, he could definitely win this thing.
Wow, the lights have gone out. That's what we've been waiting for. We're going to be introducing the athletes, and then I think the lights will probably go back up. You can see some of these holes are glowing. It's nice to see.
Yeah, it's a bit of black light. I've actually climbed in a room with nothing but black light. It's really entertaining. Wow. Yeah, all the holes glow. It's great.
Well, here we are. We have the athletes coming out. so six minutes observation time starts. Well, it's underway. 5 minutes left actually.
Yeah.
What do it's an opposite route to the women's. Up the left, across in the middle, and up to the right. Very similar routes. So, can you see what stands out from your analysis?
Yeah. Before the transition, I think it's going to be similar to the women's. A little bit longer moves, and perhaps a little more pumpy. But coming across the transition, I guess they're probably going to keep the guys, really try and keep the guys from getting too much of a stem rest there, or they might get too much energy back. But again, it's going to be when they traverse, they're going to start getting more and more tired, and then there's more volumes at the top, which makes the crimps at the top angled so that you're not pulling straight down, which actually makes them a little bit easier to hold, but they're probably worse than they look. So I imagine that most of the guys will, just like most of the girls, make it through the transition without too much difficulty. It'll just start to build the pump. And when they move down from the double volume on the left past to the red volume with the yellow knob on it and into the white volume, it looks like it gets really powerful there. The feet are fairly high, so it'll be interesting to see how any of the taller climbers deal with that. We don't have any really tall climbers left, actually. Loman de Grange is probably the tallest, but it'll be interesting to see how he makes it through there. I think Han Min Min and Ramane, who are currently discussing the route together, and Sach Ama are going to enjoy this route with the high feet near the end there. Yeah, they're really working out. Sach is off to the side, kind of thinking his own way, doing his own thing, even though I know he usually converses with the other climbers too. You really have to run around at the bottom of the route to see all of the holds here, because some of them are hidden up inside the gap, of course. And it does extend all the way around the side here. There are no holds completely off the side of the wall, but still, you want to see what the holds look like from an angle. So you'll see the climbers running back and forth, using their binoculars, trying to get any advantage they can for themselves. Not an advantage over other climbers, of course, because the other climbers can do the same thing, but just a psychological advantage, maybe knowing every possible angle that the hold can appear in, and knowing how to grab it when they first get to it. You don't want to get to a hold, attempt to grab it, and realize that, hey, there's an edge on the side of this thing that I didn't see from the ground. That's going to cost you a little bit of time, a little bit of confidence, etc. So observation is such a huge part of climbing. When Yuji Hirayama on-sighted the first 8C ever in the world, a route called White Zombie in Baltazoa in Spain, he actually spent better part of probably an hour or more, and possibly on multiple days. I think he was looking at the route for 30 minutes for 3 days, or an hour for 3 days, something like that, but scoping the route out. And of course on outdoor rock there are other hints as to what holds, how they're used. There are thumb marks from your thumb. There are boot rubber marks on certain holds, and polished holds where you know that you have to push really hard, etc. It's a little different from looking at routes on the indoors, but it's the same theory. Everybody is allowed to take binoculars and scope out a route as much as they want, and still they're able to on-sight it. Of course, touching the route is not good. Watching someone who's climbed it on film is also not kosher as far as the on-site ethics go, but we'll leave that debate up to others. Here we know it's on-site because all the climbers are back in isolation, and it looks like they're getting close to being done here. They got 1 minute, they just announced over the PA, and now you see Sach talking with Jakob Schubert, it looks like, discussing some of the moves. This is really going to be an entertaining final, and they have managed to pack even more people in here for the men's final. It's really going to get loud, and I know, interviewing and speaking with Marco Scolari, who's the president of the IFSC at the break, he was super happy with the turnout here. And as we mentioned in the interview as well, you don't have to be in a huge metropolitan area for these things to work. You just need a good wall, and this wall is past regulation height, so it's fine. And you need good route setters and a nice venue like this. And then some decent advertising, of course. If, like Marco said, if you're in a metropolitan area, of course, you're going to be competing against so many other events, you might get lost in the mix. But out here in Inzai, most of the locals have heard of this and are kind of interested in, I'm sure that close to half the people here are probably locals, that'd be my guess. And I guess they've just completed the observation time, so they're going to go back into isolation, and we'll be back soon with our first climber.
Thank you very much, Kevin. That's a nice bit of analysis and nice information on site and viewing routes. So let's open the debate. Who is going to be on the podium? Forgot about that. Yep, so let's just have another quick look at the start lists. This is the order that I'll be coming out in. If you just want to run through these climbers, Romain de Grange for a start, one of the oldest of the group here. Him and himself and, well, the two old guys, Romain at the start and Julian at the end.
Yeah, geez, you call them old guys, it makes me feel really old. Because they're only 30.
Yeah, they're younger than me as well. I mean,
there you go. 29 and 31 are they? Or somewhere in that range. Anyways, yeah, so they are bookending the competition with Romain coming out first and with Romain de Grange coming out first and Lamont Julien Poublanc coming out last. And I think in the semifinal, Romain kind of had the same situation as Sean. He might have made a small mistake here and there. Sean was saying that that the footholds seemed really slippery, and he did have his feet cut loose once or twice, which causes you to have to use a little extra core tension and a little extra shoulders to get your feet back on or to keep them on. And he's going to pay attention, of course, in the final here. He wasn't complaining about the holds. He was just saying that they are a little bit slick, and it is, again, they've turned the air conditioning on in here, and it is cooler in here than outside, so you can get a little bit of condensation, and the holds can get slippery. But Romain's going to be our first man out, and he is strong enough easily to win this thing if he can stay calm, not let a little mistake get into his head, and really flows with the route. I can see him going, yeah, pretty much all the way. I know he can onsite 8B plus because he has recently onsited 8B plus. I believe unless I'm mixing him up with Manuel Romain, he did hydrophobia in Sierrana and also La Hyène, which means the hyena, in France. Both thought to be 8B plus. Possibly there's some debate over hydrophobia. It might only be 8B, but it depends on who you ask. Either way, extremely difficult routes, and Romain, this route is graded 8B plus, the final route, so Romain is fully capable of onsighting it. And we know, of course, that Romain Julien Poublanc is easily capable of onsighting these routes. He was the only man to top out the semifinal route. He topped out both of his qualifying routes as well, which were graded 8A plus and 8B. The semifinal was 8B plus, and this is a hard 8B plus, so we'll see how he does. He's actually very famous in America, is Romain, for onsighting the crew in Rifle, Colorado. Rifle, Colorado, for those of you who don't know, is an area in southern Colorado that uses an extreme amount of knee bars for its climbing. The rock is really blocky, so you end up knee barring, and apparently Romain ended up onsighting the crew using, I've heard 0 knee bars, but I've also heard that he used 1 or 2. But either way, I know that on that route there are certainly more than 1 or 2 knee bars, and it impressed the locals to no end. So, and that route is 8C plus, so 8B plus might not be the hardest thing for him to onsight if he's on form, if he doesn't let his head to beat him if he doesn't run into any problems with slipping like he did in Mokpo or in Xining, and we certainly aren't wishing that upon him. But, and I guess in the background they're just announcing the first competitor. Pardon me, no, I just caught what they're saying. They're actually mentioning the sponsors in the background, and we're still waiting for our first climber.
Well, as they're mentioning sponsors, I think we should mention Top 30, the partner of IFSC competitions. They have been sponsoring all IFSC World Cups throughout the whole last couple of years. So if they're going to be mentioned sponsors, hello to Top 30 and thank you for all the hard work that they put in behind the scenes as well.
Yes, definitely. They're great. I've seen their commercials, of course, at the beginning of all of the broadcasts. Top 30 is the first thing you hear, and it's I like their advertising is great.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the first thing I hear every day on the webcast as well. I've seen it quite a few times.
Yeah, you probably go to sleep hearing it, actually, doing all the editing and everything else at night.
Yeah, unfortunately I do, but anyway. What I just want to show you can see a nice side shot of the view. What I want to show you now is this is the shot which we've made, which we've got from the back of the room. Let's just have a look at the actual route that the climbers are going to go to. We're going to take you all the way up the route from 15, just before the first climber comes out. So as we go at this route, they've gone up to 15, which is about, let's say, the yellow volume on the left-hand side.
Okay,
that's where we are. So they've got up to that section. Okay, talk us through the rest of the route. We're going to be going this way.
Okay, yeah, I was kind of mentioning earlier that I think that's about where it starts to get, the moves look like they get a little longer, so of course whenever you get into a traverse in a roof, if the feet die out on you, you got to use an immense amount of body tension. If your feet are right below you, you have to use a huge amount of body tension to keep yourself on the wall. So yeah, you can see as they go, that's a really long traverse, and we have a total of 44 holds. So
well, let's see. Roman de Grange.
With 44 holds, it is a little bit shorter than the women's, which was 52, but I think that's partly because the moves are a fair amount longer than the women's moves were. Here we go with Roman de Grange. Well, that's actually looking a little more delicate than I thought right there. Roman's an excellent crimper, so he's probably happy that there are some crimps at the beginning. For anyone just joining us who missed the earlier broadcast, the lower part of the wall here is only overhanging by about 5 degrees. You might be able to catch that from the side angle on our cameras, but it kicks back right where he is to about 18 degree overhang, where Roman is, and then obviously up in the roof section, it can get almost parallel to the ground. It's really kicked back hard there. The route setters so far have done a great job, so I don't expect that this route will be any different. They put their heart and soul into this. They really have been doing a great job. Oh, that was interesting that Roman picked up the rope and chose to pause. I guess it was because he couldn't actually reach underneath his arm. Yeah, it looks like he's actually fairly comfortable there. That hold that he's got, he's crimping it now, the green hold, but it actually is a bit of a sloper. Wow, you can see Roman's right hand just crimped the heck out of that right hold. And he found a bit of a knee bar. I was wondering if you were going to be able to knee bar there. That can be a part of the problem of dealing with so many volumes on the wall is you can sometimes get knee bars that the route setters don't actually want them to have. That one I think was planned, of course, but occasionally you run into ones that weren't planned. Oh, there we go. He had to reset really quick, but now he's on his way again. This hold, I know this hold is actually a little worse than it looks, and he is crimping the heck out of the top of that. You can hear the alley from the crowd, even the Japanese crowd here, many climbing aficionados, of course, they know that we don't say come on or gamba in French, we say allez. Excellent. Yeah, he swung across immediately, got his feet set, although he is palming the freshly painted part of that hold, which is not going to help him very much. Now he's moved across and he's all right.
So realistically, we have an 8-minute time limit on this one, but it's not going to take an effect into any countbacks here because we've already got rankings from the tournament. But what it will be interesting is, I mean, it's only taken less than 3 minutes to get to this halfway, well, to the changeover. So I really don't think time's going to become a factor at all on this sort of in this competition.
Yeah, unless somebody rests or finds some other rest in the transition or something that Romain didn't find, I don't imagine time's going to come into it either.
And also, with only 44 holds, it's a relatively small competition. I mean, I've seen finals this year up to 70 holds, and I mean, I was chatting to Roman, the Slovenian coach, and Tony from Spain. They think between 45 and 55 is a nice, good finals route. So yeah. I think we set. It's a short route, but yeah. I don't think time should be a factor.
Yeah, partly it's because the climbers are so strong and they can reach through long distances, and so they don't need as many holds, of course. But yeah, this is a little bit shorter than some of the routes, like for sure in Atlanta or somewhere like that, where they had that huge wall. But it looks like he found a really, really good rest. He's double heel hooking and actually toe camming underneath the roof there, and taking essentially, yeah, 70% of his lower body weight off of his forearms, maybe 60. When he sucks in a little bit like that, it might be a little bit more. It depends on how far out, of course, he holds his rear end, and there you can see he's torquing the tops of his toes a lot more as he moves away. Well, it'll be interesting to see how many other climbers find that. And here he goes, setting off again. I don't think he was worried about time. I think he just recovered enough that he wanted to get going. Wow, he is moving easily here. Oh, he shook out even before he went to that crimp, so this might be, and he can rest there. Like I said earlier when I saw this, I thought that, oh, those crimps would be a little bigger than they seem because of, oh, he lost his foot there. Oh, wow. This looks like he's gonna top for sure. Oh no, he's starting to pause. Come on, come on, come on. I think he needed to move quickly there. I think he needed to move real quick. He might have blown his chances. Yep, darn it. Wow, he is so mad at himself for pausing there, for slowing down. He's really disappointed. He shouldn't have tried to reset and find that heel hook. He should have just jumped, and now I think he's realizing it.
He's going to be gutted with that, but it's questionable for this route. He's got all the way pretty much to the top. Yeah. This is our first of 8 climbers.
I wonder if we're going to see another Mina Markovic scenario where the climber on the end is, or the first or second climber out is so relaxed and just climbs really well, and everybody else manages to not flow as well, not find all the heel hooks, toe hooks, rests, etc. And we start seeing people drop off earlier. Romain might, you never know, he might hit the podium with this. We'll have to wait and see.
Yep, we've got to wait and see. Very unlucky. He'll be kicking himself inside now. He knows he could have got that.
Yeah, that type of emotion of sometimes you just can't control that type of thing. I know sometimes people in the crowd are like, oh wow, he's really taking that hard, and we don't need to see that or something, but Adam Ondra is actually famous for tilting a little bit and really getting mad, but sometimes you just can't control it. You put your heart and soul into this, you put a lot of training into this, emotions get the better of you, especially if you make a mistake literally a foot and a half from the last hold, and it might mean a World Cup win. It might have been his first World Cup win. Of course he's going to take it hard.
Wow. Well, okay, that's 1 down, 7 to go. And now your compatriot.
Yes, Mr. Sean McCall is coming out next.
He didn't have the best semi-final. He said he was getting better than Qualls. He was not on the top 4, but he topped that.
Yeah, it looks out in there. The crowd's going crazy and the announcers in the background. Sean normally takes a few seconds to look at the wall before he gets started, but once he gets started, he's one of the fastest climbers, if not the fastest climber on the wall most of the time. We'll see. He did take it a little bit slower in the qualifying and the semifinal this time, so we'll see if he does the same thing here.
Well, that only just took about 4 minutes, just over 4.5 minutes for Romain Desgagne. So, like we said, it's definitely not a time thing. Sean won't be worried about time. He knows on countback, he'll be out, if 3 or more top people will not be on the podium anyway. So, what is going to be important though? Probably we were saying the ranking. He's third at the moment. He needs to make sure he puts in a good climb here to compete with the likes of Jakob, Satyama, Ramon for the overall rankings at the end of the year. And not just the overall lead, with Jakob for the overall climber.
Right, for all 3 disciplines, that's right. Jakob and Sean are actually a little closer than I thought for the overall in all 3 disciplines. But yeah, if Sean relaxes and climbs the way I know he can, I have a feeling he's gonna top out. If he happens to miss the knee bar or the double heel hook that Romain found, he might pump out a little bit sooner than we saw Romain start to get pumped at the top. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, this is the Sean we know. He's climbing pretty darn quick, certainly a lot faster than Romain. Wow, he's doing a really tough iron cross move there. Yeah, no, he handled that really nicely. He didn't seem worried at all. He's actually going to get his feet across before he clips, which, good. He was shaking just a little bit. I wonder if that took a little bit more strength than he thought. But now he's getting a good rest on the, looks like he's actually got a heel hook above his head on the, or above his hand on the hold. Our camera angle is cutting it off a tiny bit.
Yeah, he's got his leg wrapped around that purple volume there.
Yeah, there he's unwinding. Yep.
Tangled his legs.
That can definitely
if we have a
help.
look from our camera below, we can see stretching across the massive break. It's about a metre and a half wide gap, so it's about a metre in between them 2 volumes.
Yeah, with the volumes, yeah, exactly. And you can see the way he's grabbing that hold with his right arm kind of as an undercling. That's really going to help him relax his right hand and use his bicep more than his forearm to put pressure on that hold. That can really help you out. I can't stress that enough to the young climbers watching. If you can grab a hold like that, you're going to get a lot more back than if you take it the other way. That comes with experience. You know, Sean's one of the most experienced onsiders in the world, so he's going to find those types of tricks.
He looked really relaxed there, just looking down, looking at the time. He's only had 3 minutes to there, so he's got 5 minutes to go around, 18 moves left.
Yeah, and here he's coming down to the big yellow. Good. He made that look easy. We'll see if he finds or if he even cares about the double toe hook or heel hook. Oh, he's got one in there, yeah. Looks like he's just going to go for it. He's just going for it. I think he got enough back at the break that he's just going to run up this last section. Come on, Sean, come on. Oh, no, don't get your foot the wrong way. Come on, good. All right, if he gets his left foot on now, get your left foot on. And boom.
Wow.
All right, yes. Yeah, big scream. Yes, woohoo. Good, excellent, Sean. Big.
Sean is big. Crowd go wild. Now, this is what happened in the women's finals. So we can't count out the route spin set too easy yet. But Sean McCall is over the moon.
Yeah, and he didn't even use the rest that Romain used with the heel hook there. He just sprinted up the last section there, and you can see the way he didn't hesitate the way Romain did, trying to find a heel hook or anything else. Sean, you know, I don't think he's any stronger than Romain necessarily. He just sussed the sequence a little bit better, used his momentum a little bit better, and fired off to the finishing jug. without hesitating, and that's of course why Romain was so frustrated. And Sean's got to be super happy. You could see the joy on his face as he was turning around to the crowd after hanging. And there again, he puts his hands up. He knows he did really good. So,
well, that's going to do his ranking points well.
That's right. I know. Yeah, he's just moving over towards us.
Kevin, just jump up and see if he can say anything to him. Okay, Kevin's just going to have a quick word.
How did you feel? You're obviously super happy.
I don't know, yeah, I mean, it's hard to explain. I mean, I found the rest where you put your feet back on the other wall. I don't know if everyone will do it, but it really saved me. I looked down at the clock, I'd be just under 3 minutes. When I finished, I mean, I did it from there to the top in like 50 seconds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's my style. I mean, I felt really good, but the holds were always really good. I was never really, really tired. I mean, the last 3 or 4 moves are hard, but I even felt like I could have done a lot more, so I think we'll see maybe 3 or 4 tops.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, Mina Markovic did the same thing in the women's, and that's not what happened, so we'll see. And you're sweating pretty heavy. Is it hot under the lights up there?
Yeah, but I mean, it's not hot when you're climbing. I mean, I use liquid chalk. I chalked up. The atmosphere is great, the crowd here, and I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Maybe I can pull out like Mina.
Yeah, exactly. We're really hoping to see at least podium for sure. So and you won't fall behind in points even if Romain or Saj does get the win. Oh yeah, that's
the
right,
semifinals. I know, but then if it comes to that, I mean, I barely made finals, and you know, my mistake would have been in semis. So if I don't really care what happens. I obviously will be a little bit disappointed if I become 7th and there's 7 tops, but I don't know. My first time I've done a finals in a World Cup, so I'm happy.
Great. Well, thanks a lot for talking to us, and I hope that you finish on the podium. We'll see. Thanks. Wow, you could really hear that Sean McCall was just super stoked to have completed that route, and as he said, he essentially sprinted that last section, and that's really his style. Perhaps if some of the other climbers take their time, they're going to run into trouble like Romain at the end, or especially if they overthink it. Sean, pretty much knew you just got to go, and but he did say that he wasn't struggling on any of the holds, and he's worried about multiple top outs. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. We have Hanbin Min on the wall now. It was great to see him in another final, especially after last week with his win in Mokpo. Jae Kim didn't quite get the win here. She got 2nd, but a first last week and a 2nd this week is great for her as well.
So here we go. This is where he is on the map. This is his route. He's at 17. Sean McCall top. You see, Romain Grigorian, he was just on 43. He was just 1 move away, and that's how close he is. Our first 2 climbers. Now, Hanbin Min, as we were just saying, super strong.
Yeah, he's really strong.
He's on a high from last week.
Yeah, and you can see it on that move there. The crowd actually went, whoa, because he did that really quite easily. As Sean was saying in his interview, it's going to be interesting to see if anybody else finds the step back rest. Whoa. Oh, that's going to cost him a little bit. That might have blown his core a little bit. He's reaching across.
Wow, you heard the crowd go, whoa. A double swing on that, so 2nd attempt. On his left arm, that would have took a lot of power out of it.
Yeah. If you miss something like that and you swing out, of course, you've got to use your core to reset or retain the momentum and get your feet set back on the other side.
He's got a comfortable position here, though. He's shaking it out, that hand.
Yeah, he's doing the same thing as Sean initially did, which was to reach his leg over top of the sloper we can see on the big screen there. And then it's going to be a question of whether he finds the step back like Sean did. No, he's not. He's going to just continue.
So he's smooth though. He didn't take as long as a break as Sean.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just a confidence thing or and he thinks he didn't need it. He might have spotted this other rest down here that he's just moving into. and he thought, well, I can get down and get to that.
So where was the section that Sean was mentioning in his interview?
He was talking about the transition there,
Yep.
where he was taking the purple hold and stretching his feet back to the other wall, the left wall.
Right.
Just 1 foot, and it really allowed him to get a lot back. So we'll see. Han Bin-min may not have needed it. We'll see how he does here. He's shaking his hands out a little bit in between each move, so he looks really good. His core is nice and tight. Yeah, he shook his left hand again. Oh, he swung out a little bit, but no, he's chalking quite easily.
Well, this is looking, he's got plenty of time, shaking his hands out, and just about 5 moves to go.
Yeah, his time is really not going to be a problem. Here, this move could be a bit of a stretch unless he gets his foot set just right. No, he got it. Now, is he going to pop immediately for the jug? Oh, he crossed. Wow. Wow, crossing like that is a little dangerous, but that's interesting that we saw another top immetly. Like Sean McCall said, it would be a little disappointing if he gets 7th based on count back, but Hun Bin took a little bit of a risk there crossing to the final hold, but with his foot so high, that might have been just the most comfortable thing to do, and of course he did do it, so congratulations to him.
Well, people in the chat are already saying easy route setting. I think that's a bit harsh, really. We've had a fantastic competition of route setting throughout. Now you've got to remember, these climbers have been here climbing on this wall. This is their third. This will be their 4th climb now for some of the finalists. It's only a 50-meter wall. They're going through several different moves, and they are the world's best. Now you can say, yeah, the route setting should be better, but if you have not seen any of the other routes from this competition, I ask you to go back and watch the YouTube replays, where you'll see the routes have been fantastic here.
Yeah, they were basically set perfectly. There was one tiny little bunch up in the qualifiers, but otherwise everybody's been split out almost perfectly. And it might be a little bit of the route setters thinking, hey, these guys are going to be tired. It's okay if we've got a little bit bigger holds here and there on this one because they're going to be tired, and they're just the best in the world, so they've recovered completely and they're not tired. That might be a part of it, but
and also they knew it was a tight schedule. They've only had we only finished 3.5 hours ago from the semi-final, so
yeah, so they might have thought, yeah, that the guys will still be a little bit tired, but you never know. Maybe Hun Bin and Sean were just on their game and we won't see that many more tops. But
well, that's it. Yeah, Rahman didn't. But no,
right.
Magnus, as I said earlier, he was terrific form in the qualifications. He just ran at them routes. And here, the semi-finals this morning, another good climb.
Yeah, he didn't top out, but he's certainly looking strong. And this type of route, I think, will suit him fairly well. Big pulls between fairly positive holds. That's his style.
Yeah, you were saying you've watched his videos, workout videos and things.
Yeah, and his online climbing videos where he's climbing in Spain and bouldering in Norway and Sweden. And yeah, he likes the big holds with the big pulls. So this might suit his style quite well. He does occasionally have little problems where he gets something wrong and just decides to go for it, rather than climb back down and try a different move. But the route seems like it's not incredibly hard to suss so far, so I don't expect him to have too much trouble with that.
Question, who is the finals route setter? The route setter is Carlos.
Yes, Carlos Brasco from Spain has been the route setter throughout. Of course, the head route setter, he has a whole team with him, but yeah, please go back. If you're disappointed with this route, please go back and watch the other routes, because the separations have been perfect. Even in the women's final, we thought, as Mina Markovic said, that there would be a bunch of top outs, and it was only Mina and Jae-in Kim coming off the final jug. Otherwise, it was a perfect split. I think there was only one tie. So, yeah, I can't say enough about how great the route setting has been. If this happens to be a route that a fair number of people do. Okay, well,
it just shows it doesn't matter because even if you go on countbacks, it's been separated. It was only Ramon who topped out.
Exactly.
In the so there's that one. There's a breakdown all the way back through the competition. Yes, the qualifications was quite a lot of double tops, but there wasn't in the semi-finals no more than one top. So it's clearly route setting throughout been doing very well.
yeah, that's right. I mean, Jakob was clearly second in the semifinals, so he separated from Ramon because Ramon topped out. So even if they were to tie and both climb this, it would still end up with Ramon on the top of the podium.
Sachiyama was so close.
Yeah. Sach actually thought he made a mistake. I was talking to him afterwards where he misread the move a little bit and was convinced that if he had taken the undercling with his left hand and then switched the undercling to a small crimp, he would have been able to move up at least one hold, and which would have tied him with Jakob Schubert, and possibly actually he would have topped the route. So his confidence is high, and that's good to see. If all three of them do happen to do this route, Sachiyama will finish in third. And we see Magnus playing it up for the crowd a little bit. Again, there he's waving back. He might also be asking for time, but he's got tons of that, so. His face is getting a little red, and under the lights there, he might be getting fairly warm now, and his hands might be getting a little tiny bit slippery, but he's moving really well. Yeah, he's not having, oh. It's surprising to see him come back down from that and then move again. That may have cost him a little bit of strength. No, he's chalking on all the holes. He seems like he's all right. What also might have affected the route setters is because of these volumes, they may have thought those crimps would feel a little bit worse, but if you pull on them sideways, the crimps actually get better. And let's see if you can make this final dyno. Looks a little bit tired. But he got it. And he fist bumps to the crowd, so 3 tops so far. A big cheer from the crowd. That's great to hear. I think he knows now that there have been a couple of tops, and but he's still got to be happy with that. He certainly climbed fluidly on the top, and even though he did pause a tiny bit, he didn't pause long enough like Romain Desgrange to get too pumped to do the last move. So
okay, so 4 down, 3 tops, halfway through. Now let's have a look. Let's have a look at the next climber, Mario Lechner. Now he was the best of the rest before anyone else came out in the semi-finals. Really set the target for
set the tone, yeah.
Sachi, Ramon, and Jakob.
Yes, yeah,
actually, looking strong, wasn't he?
Yeah. I actually thought he was going to top the semi-final because he was moving so well, and he just suddenly blew up at the end there. Just kind of had a really instant pump at the end, but this is a little less his style, but the Austrians are actually all quite good at these kind of big moves on decent holds. I know he likes to crimp things too, but we'll have to see how he moves through the lower section. If he doesn't make any mistakes, finds the rests, I'm not sure that he won't go to the top as well. We might see another top out.
What is a big point though? You got to think yes, we're watching the final here, and we might have a few tops, but they've got to be consistent throughout the whole competition.
Yeah, this is actually, I don't want to say teach somebody a lesson or anything, but this is going to, drive home the point to some of the climbers that you really do have to do your best at all levels of the game. Otherwise, on countback, it could come back to bite you, even in a World Cup final, in any competition, of course.
Well, exactly. I mean, there was only 31 starting out in the men's qualifications. They knew they only had to do quite well to get through to the semi-finals, but the guys that didn't top both, or maybe top both, I think there was only 4 who topped both actually on the quals. 7 top one and 4 top the other. So there's only 4 that topped both routes. Then going to the next stage, it's only Ramon who's topped everything. So, yep.
Yeah, on countback.
Lessons to be learned.
Yeah, sometimes I've said it before. During the qualifications, it did look like 1 or 2 climbers were kind of thinking, oh, maybe I'll save a little bit. I know I'm moving on. But if that comes back to bite you on countback, might have to be a lesson learned. Mario looks all right so far. See if he can. He's taking a little bit longer than the others. I'm a little bit worried. Oh, he got it. Yeah.
And he's gone back to do that. What Sean was talking about.
Yes. That's the way Sean thought. If any other climbers find that,
having a wave.
Yeah, you can really get a lot of strength back if you find a good rest like that. So we'll see if he runs up the last section like Sean did. He might not. He might take his time, but
it's a great performance from Mario. He'll do a great deal for confidence.
Yeah, certainly. When you can find a nice rest like this in the middle of a route, it does build your confidence, and especially if you feel the little bit of pump going away and getting some power back, it feels great. You go, okay. Mentally, you just think to yourself, oh, I'm good to go. I'm going to do this thing. Oh, his right arm is shaking actually a fair amount there.
His best so far this year was in Atlanta with the 6th position, and he came 7th in Perth and Shining. So he's already coming in 4th here. Even on countback, he's the best top. He's done his personal best on a league competition this year.
Yeah, that's right. He'll just finish 1 off the podium if the rest top out.
This will be his personal best at an IFSC Senior World Cup. He's only 21 years of age.
Yeah, one of the rising stars from the Austrian team. That Austrian team is just so strong, and they train so much. A lot of even foreign climbers go over to Austria, to Innsbruck, and train, and just to see what the climbers in Innsbruck do. And I know a few people have gone there and said, wow, they just have so many hard routes that you can't help but climb hard, because it's the only thing you can climb is these crazy hard routes. So, and he looks really good with that drop knee. Oh, if his foot doesn't blow, yeah, he's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Another top.
Let's get the face reaction. He's happy.
I think he's happy with the performance there.
I think he knows a bit,
but he knows that it's easy.
Yeah. He's shaking his.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Does that prove he's good, or? Well, on his performance in the semi-finals, he needs to go away with this competition with a very pleased, well done, pat on the back.
Yeah, as we were saying, he even looked like he could have topped out the semi-final if his right hand hadn't blown out on him. So, and as you said, if there's 3 more tops, he still gets 4th personal best. So that's great. And here we have the hometown favorite, Masachi, coming out. I don't expect anything other than a top here now that I've seen Mario and the others do this fairly
that
tight.
could
but
be a disaster for the competition, really. Yeah.
yeah. You never know. Nerves could get to him, and there are occasional slips where, honestly, your foot just blows off because you're not paying attention, or if you think the route's a little too easy or something, you might not take it seriously enough and not put your foot on a hold correctly. But I know Sach is going to take this as pretty serious because he's in his home country and he really wants to win this competition. If it goes to count back and Sach, Jakob, and Ramon all finish onside this route, Sach will end up in third place and at least make the podium, so that's great for the Japanese crowd. I'm actually a little bit surprised that the bottom, I said when Romain Desgrange came out that the bottom looked fairly delicate, but it doesn't actually look that difficult. I'm surprised because the route setters sometimes put a little bit of difficult moves down on the bottom, kind of crimpy moves on the start to blow people's hands out a little bit before they get into the bigger holds in the roof.
Just out of interest, if just out of a side competition we're going to throw in the mix here, just looking at the times. Sean McCall, we know he's the fastest, one of the fastest. He does the speed climbing just as a little personal task. 3 minutes 55 he did this route.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a lot faster than I thought. Because he did rest for a fair while in the break there, but like you said, as soon as he decided to go, he ran up that last section.
So yeah, and then the next best was Mario Lecce, who's just come off 4 minutes 30.
Oh wow.
Well, and to be honest, Sanchez is almost at this middle section. He's taken a little over a minute and 20 seconds to get to there.
Yeah, so he's moving pretty fast as well.
Let's just hope he doesn't get ahead of himself.
Yeah, exactly. That is surprising that Sean beat Mario by 36 whole seconds, though. Wow. Especially after he rested so long. If Sean hadn't rested, he might have been able to do it in 3 minutes. Oh, good. Sach reached right across without straining. Yeah. Wow, and you automatically, essentially, it looks like you automatically end up with that heel hook above your hand. Just by nature of the move itself, you end up heel hooking above your hand on the purple volume, or purple jug there. That might be what's contributing to some of the guys getting so much of their energy back, is the transition move has a really small hold on the far wall and a really big hold on the near wall, so that you can heel hook it to bring your weight over. But once the guys get their hands on it, they can hold onto it forever.
It's like they say, it's like a joke.
Yeah, it's one of the only holds the whole competition I've wanted to call a jug.
Yeah,
because it actually is. So maybe the guys are just, the route setters didn't plan on them getting so much energy back at that particular rest. Maybe that's why everybody's doing climbing the route except Romain Sauvar. Oh, Sach isn't even going to bother getting the... Oh, there he got the heel toe cam on the yellow hold there.
What grade is it?
It was supposed to be 8B plus, I believe. And they thought it was originally kind of hard 8B plus, but it looks like... yeah, they misjudged. Yeah.
Could be misjudged.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks all right if he's chalking there. He's really looking to make sure he doesn't mess up here. You can see him glance around at the footholds to make sure he gets the sequence right. Come on, Sach, there you go.
Taking his time.
Yeah. And if he just jumps, he's going to be all right. Come on. There we go. Good. He didn't slip or anything. Yeah. Crowd goes crazy here. That's great. Yeah. Good, good, good. He's really psyched up.
I tell you what, I just glanced at our clock. I think he's a minute faster than Sean. A second faster than Sean.
A second faster than Sean? Really?
No, I'm just going to check. I think it could be 3:56. I think, well, we'll have to check with the timekeepers, but either way, 3 minutes 55, 3:56. I know it doesn't have any result on the event. It's never going down to time anymore because all of these guys have got the same. Came back, it's going to be Ramon, and then it'll be Jakob, then Sachi for the next two top. But a little personal competition we can have in between them. He's in second place on that.
Yeah, which he did climb the bottom section really, really fast, and it seemed like he didn't rest as long as Sean, even though he climbed the top section slower. He didn't rest as long, so.
Well done to Sachiyama. He'll be pleased to be on the podium in front of his home crowd. He's at guaranteed third place.
And here comes Jakob Schubert out. Just going to take a little bit of time to glance at the wall. I'm sure if he can hear anything in the background, in isolation, pardon me, he certainly knows that Sach did very well, if not topped. So, yeah, here he goes.
Okay, well, he hasn't won a World Cup this year, and if Ramon kills it, which we expect he will, I don't think he's going to win a World Cup here. He's only going to win even crunch, but, well, can't say it too early. We have to give them their fair dues, and they still have to do it.
That's right. And it does come back to count back, like you're saying. So if Jakob had topped the semi-final,
it would still go
it
back
still
to
went
Ramon.
back to
It would
qualification.
go on time then.
Oh right, no, they both topped. Yeah, so it would go. Then we'd finally have to talk about time a little bit more, but that's not the case. Jakob did make a mistake or get too pumped. It looked like to me he just got too pumped on the semi-final route, so it's going to go to count back if they happen to both do this final route.
I noticed there's still some people complaining about it in the routes. I do notice that they're complaining in the live chat, but they're not actually here at the competition, so they can talk their complaints off all they like in the live chat, like keyboard warriors. However, if they want to prove how good they are, then they need to register and enter the competitions.
That's true, yeah, for sure. Or become a route setter themselves.
Or become a route setter themselves. Get contacted by IFSC. There may be route setters, but it's very easy to talk for a keyboard and start slating the route setters. I think Carlos has done a fantastic job this competition.
Yeah, I was commenting to my wife that these are probably some of the best routes I've seen. And if he happened to have one at the end here that was a little soft, well, we'll just have to take it in stride and realize that it goes to count back, and at least we're not going to have ties that take it down to time, which seems to bother a lot of people in the chat. Oh, that was interesting that he matched and then seemed to struggle a little bit going off to the right, but not too much, I don't suspect. And wow, he kept his right foot on very easily and just twisted his knee off to the side. His face is getting pretty red already. I imagine that the lights are heating him up a little bit, but I don't suspect he'll have much trouble here, and he'll probably get most of his energy back at this on this hold. He's got his feet in a funny position, but he did reach back to the other wall, and now he's probably going to get a ton of energy back. We'll see here. He's just reaching out to feel the holds. I don't think he's actually going to move yet. Yeah, he's going back to the rest. Occasionally you'll see that, and he did just glance back at the crowd and at the time clock to make sure that he's all right. Occasionally, if you have a big hold like this, you'll reach up and feel around to make sure that you know what the next couple of holds feel like. Yeah, with his feet across on the far side, you can see he's hardly using his core at all. Resting completely straight on his shoulder, no bicep at all, and I think he's getting a ton of energy back. We'll see how fast he climbs at the end here.
Well, he's coming up to 4 minutes actually, so he's taking his time.
Oh yeah.
Maybe what's incidental? I don't know how much they can hear in isolation. Now, because it is for a couple of double doors and it's quite far away, the isolation. They're only taking 4 or 5 minutes. How much do they actually know if they're topped?
That's true, right. Because everybody's coming out or is coming back to get you quickly, you might think, oh well, he didn't do the entire route because they're quite, the route's fairly long. So yeah, you're right, definitely.
Jakob is definitely taking one of the longest.
Yeah.
He's resting at every point.
Yeah.
Someone did make a point. The yellow hole is also a jug. This yellow hole where he's got his feet is quite a nice rest.
Yeah.
But the yellow hole on the red volume on the way down, is that also?
Yes, that's also a jug, but because of the way you grab it with your feet against the wall, and it's kind of a rounded jug. Yeah, we'd still call it a jug, I guess. It's just put in a position where you don't get to rest off of it exactly. You can see him shake his hands a little bit on almost every move. Yeah, there he's relaxing nicely. Here we go. See if you can make these last couple moves. Oh, he switched to a heel. There we go. Whoa. That was entertaining. And he's just going to one-arm clip. No problem. Wow. He was actually confident enough on the last 2 holds before the jug to release his body from the wall. Those are slopey. They're not exactly great holds, so he must have had a ton of strength left to be able to do that.
Well, he'll be pleased, personally pleased that he's topped out there. Having all year not had a very strong finish in the finals. Yes, obviously the World Championships, but that is separate from the World Cups, which we're obviously looking at, and for the ranking points he's in 4th.
Right.
Just having trouble here getting off his... No.
Yeah, this is...
So that's 2 on the podium.
Yeah, and if Ramon comes out and we, I guess, maintain status quo, as in Ramon will climb this and finish in 1st, points are going to get interesting because Ramon is going to pass Sach quite possibly. But
Sachi, you see, Sachi will get points for silver. Sean McCall will get points for 6th place because of countbacks. I'm not sure how much the points are per competition. That's something I'll try and find out for Crange, actually. Bit of homework for me.
There you go.
But yeah, it's definitely going to go down to Crange, but the order can change. I'm pretty sure with Ramon winning this, it's going to be out of Ramon and Sachi.
Yeah.
But then it's going to be open for silver and bronze, really, in the overall.
Yeah, or at least for bronze, if with Sean finishing a little bit farther back and Schubert moving up with a 2nd place finish. Yeah, Sean might lose a few steps, and Schubert will grab a few steps, and they'll end up battling it out for the bronze, and the gold is going to come down to Sach and Ramon. If Ramon climbs this, Ramon will probably be in 1st. I don't remember the exact difference in points between 1st and 2nd, or it might be really close. They might be within just a few points of each other at Kranja. It's going to be really interesting. That's going to make for a great finish to the year.
Now, I tell you what will be on Ramon's mind is make sure I don't slip. He's had 2 Well, he had a terrible semi-final, like we said, in Shining, and then Mokpo he slipped.
Yeah.
That's on the back of 2 golds. We know he can do it. We know he's one of the strongest. It's a very nice style route for him with plenty of big holds.
Yeah, and Sach is, obviously still a little bit taller, but and Sean is a little taller than Ramon as well, but they really didn't seem like they were stretched out in too many places. So
is there a section, because Ramon is small, that he could find difficult? I mean, is it the swing across? Is everything on the route, you think?
Yeah,
okay?
I think I didn't see anything that would make me think, oh wow, Ramon's foot is going to come off there, or he's going to have to dyno that, or he's going to have to jump. It just doesn't seem like it. I mean, maybe the transition, because we have seen a few people, including Magnus, go twice, Haim Bin Min swinging twice there. Maybe Ramon has to do that, but and he did just have to pop right there. Hopefully that didn't make him nervous or anything. Yeah, and in Xining, when his foot slipped, that was truly just a monster foot slip. He had such a big hold with his left, or with the 2-finger pocket with his right hand, that I'm sure he was just so confident and didn't even think about his foot. And when he started moving, bang, it popped off. The Mokpo, he had already tired himself out a little bit with the double pinch, so when he got to there, it was more of a hand slip than a foot slip. He only hit the hold with the last 2 fingers rather than the first 3. But definitely 2 slips can weigh on your mind when you're moving towards the final, and you need to make up some points to catch Sachiyama.
He podiumed he podiumed silver in Chamonix, and then did podium later till Pers and Atlanta. With 2 goals. So he's had a mixed competition. He's even at the Rockmaster he did podium. So it was interesting to see how his mindset, if he was injured throughout the middle of the part of the competition, but he was, I'm not sure, I haven't heard of any injuries.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything, but he's resting in a completely different way from everybody. There now he's switching to get his kind of a heel hook on his handhold. He was resting completely different from other people. I'm not sure, he just glanced across, he might swing his feet over, yes, there you go. And once Ramone can grab an undercling like that and put pressure on his bicep, that giant bicep of his, I suspect he's going to get most of his energy back here. We did see him have to jump into an iron cross like Sean McCall did a little bit earlier, but given that Sean didn't have much trouble, I wasn't thinking that Ramone was going to have much trouble either. Hopefully his foot won't pop here.
So comfortable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like he's dancing.
There we go. He is quite lovely, beautiful.
Wow. Yeah, he was just like doing ballet on those holds to figure out the best position for his body size. Wow, I didn't even think about it, but dropping down to this yellow hold with his right hand right here, if his foot doesn't reach all the way to the pink very easy, he's going to actually fall kind of with a thud down onto that yellow hold, and he's going to have to be careful to really squeeze it hard so he doesn't pop off of it. We'll see, he might find a different sequence. Or just, campus down to it. Yeah, that works easy. Oh man. He's making them all look like jugs. Wow. See if he has any problem with that pinch. No. He's really making sure with his feet. You can tell he's really making sure his feet are good. Oh yeah, he's knocking on almost his 2.
Choking on every shot.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Well, Ramon, top gold medalist here for the 3rd Asia World Cup in 20 days. We are in Inzai, Japan, and our winner, gold medal winner, Ramon Julian Publon of Spain.
Yes, and he didn't just top this route, don't forget, he topped all 4 routes.
That's it, all 4 routes, which no other climber's done here.
No,
So-
he separated himself, even though we saw a lot of tops in this final, he's the one who truly separated himself and deserves this win.
Exactly, well done to Ramon. And that'll be silver for Jakub Sumer and bronze for Sachi Ama. Now I know. How do you feel?
I don't speak English.
Okay, in Spanish.
Spanish, bueno, pues la vía me ha parecido realmente, igual me ha parecido más dura la semifinal que la final, pero bueno, contento con el resultado porque la semifinal siempre hay que apretar y bueno, si la final es más fácil, pues esto es la competición.
Okay, I don't actually know what you said, but I think you look happy and congratulations, well done. So yeah, I just wanted to see his face expressions. I'm sure you can all understand if you speak Spanish in the chat. That was our champion, Ramon Julian Publon. Now we're just going to get the podium quickly set up. Kevin, we'll just try and get some interviews. If I just go and grab Jakub for you. Okay, this is Jakub Sumer. He's just joined me. Frank Bottas had a word with him from yesterday, if you remember, but he's already apologised. Anyway, Jakub, how are you?
I'm good, obviously. I mean, got second. Of course, the finals were not good. I mean, 7 out of 8 tops. I haven't experienced that before. And also 8th, which was top minus. It took everyone's chance to improve the result. But in the end, I mean, it's good for me. I was second. And I mean, of course, I would have liked to had a harder route, but Ramon climbed just better in the semi-final, so he earned it.
And that's what we were just debating. I mean, obviously, it's not the ideal. We would all like to see a big variation of routes in the final, but he is the only one who's topped every single route.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he earned the victory, but still, the final should be hard enough so everyone has at least a chance to improve his result.
Sure.
And I mean, obviously, it wasn't a great show. I think it was probably not so cool to watch, probably boring, because after the first 3 tops, I mean, there's no improvement in the route, or like no one can really improve. So.
Could you hear in isolation the crowd?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the next thing for the climbers who climb after the first top. It's of course a little harder. We already knew that Sean's gonna top, because you can say if someone falls because they're like, oh, but if someone tops, they're always only clapping and like, oh.
Okay, so they could actually hear Kevin. Kevin, have you got any questions for Jakub?
Just wondering, going into the last competition in Kranja, you haven't had a win yet this year. Are you really going to go home and get some training in before that competition, or are you going to go home and relax and just try and ride the wave and get your first win in Kranja?
Well, I think I'm not going to take it as hard. I've been close to victories this year in Atlanta by topping, but Ramon topped as well. Now here topping, but Ramon topped as well. I feel like I climbed many good semi-finals, but not so many good finals. And I'm happy that today I didn't mess up and I could finally top a route again in finals. And I don't know, I think the most important thing for me is the overall World Cup, and that's gone for me actually. So I think I will take the 2 weeks in Innsbruck now to climb as much as possible on the rock, if it's possible, because there's already snow. But yeah, just shut down the head, and hopefully I will still have a good result in front.
Yeah, well, you're so strong, I imagine that you won't have a problem. Are you going to do both bouldering and lead climbing, and also possibly speed next year, and try for the overall, as well as the overall bouldering title and the overall lead title?
Yeah, I think I will go for bouldering and lead again. The bouldering experience this year was really cool. I think I learned a lot, and I feel like in bouldering, from comp to comp, you get a lot of experience and you get better. That's why I'll do the boulder comps again next year. And obviously, I have been on the podium this year in the overall, but of course there's something to improve, and I also feel that I can improve my training in bouldering and get stronger, and hopefully, yeah, be able to win the overall in bouldering. That's a big goal for me, because yeah, and then of course go for the lead again, since it's just my discipline, and the European Championships, and I mean speed, I'll just do for fun.
So you're going to try and steal the boulder championship from your companion, Killian Fischhuber, is what you're saying.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we will see. Killian is a fantastic climber. He's so strong in bouldering, and I love that I can train together with him. He can show me a lot, and he's so experienced, so I can learn a lot from him, and I hope that helps me in the future.
Yes, he's for sure going to compete next year in the boulder, as far as you know?
As far as I know, he won't do all the comps, but he will take some and compete there.
Yeah, I noticed that he's climbing a lot more outdoors. I've seen some videos of him, things in the Rocklands and here and there. So, but he's done a lot in bouldering. Maybe he just needs a little break, and then he'll come back to bouldering competitions the year after next. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Killian has won 5 times the boulder overall. That's just insane. I don't know. It's hard to imagine, I think, but if you won 5 times the overall title, it's probably also hard to get psyched to win it again. I mean, he has proven that he is the best boulder climber in this in this generation.
Ever.
Yeah, maybe ever, or probably ever, at least in competitions. And yeah, I mean, he's still not world champion or European champion, so he's probably gonna train hard for that. And yeah, I think he really deserves it to win a title, and he will.
Yeah. I know that the World Cup overall title means a lot to everybody. Of course, that's because it's a long duration thing. But the World Championships is very important as well. And congratulations to you on your World Championship. That was great. And I guess we'll see you next year in the boulder and the lead and possibly the speed for the overall. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Jakob, and have a safe journey home tomorrow, mate. Take care. Okay, so sorry. Oh, of course you'll see me in crunch, so don't worry. I can't just back out the last one of the year. Okay, so we're just very shortly underway. This is a nice turnaround here in Inzai, but let's just have a final look at the overall scores. Men's. Here we go. So there you can see their scores on the right hand side. And Romain de Grange, I bet he's absolutely gutted.
Yeah, to be the only guy who didn't top, and he knew he should have. Man, I hope that doesn't do a number on his head. He's already had 1 or 2 times where he's got frustrated in the middle of moves, and then he kind of kicks himself a little bit over it, and I think he just needs to relax and climb and let it happen. And
it's quite surprising because he's had a very good season. A lot. He's made nearly every final, 4th, 5ths, and a couple of 3rds over in Persian Atlanta, but over in Asia, he really has not had the best of times. So very interesting. So just bear with us a few more minutes. Thank you for joining us here. We're now going to have a couple of week break. We go back to Europe, get our body clocks all back to normal, or normal to how we operate over in Europe. It's all right for you, Kevin. You're in the right time zone.
That's right. Yeah.
And then we head to Cranj. I'll be heading over there to set up on the 15th. We'll be starting the webcast on the 17th, I believe, the 17th and 18th of November for the overall final IFSC League World Cup this year and the final webcast for IFSC this year. I hope you've all enjoyed our coverage throughout the year. We will be having Dan, our resident commentator, back next week. I think it's Dan or Johnny Bryan. I think it's Dan with us for Cranj. So get your questions in for him. I'm sure he'll do a very good job. Here's Maya Vidmar just waiting to collect your medal. How excited are you today?
Yeah, I am. But this final was not so exciting.
Let's not just talk about this final, because let's see who won. Who was topped every route?
What?
Which climber topped every single route?
Which climber?
Topped every single route.
Ramon.
Ramon, and that's why he's won the gold medal. You see, so it's like you. You have to top every route to make sure you stand out the best.
Yeah, I did before, but I didn't final route.
Exactly. So there you go. Swings and roundabouts. Next time. Well, good luck in Crans and enjoy collecting your medal. Well, Kevin, thank you very much for being on board with us. I've really enjoyed having your knowledge, especially the guys watching. I've enjoyed your knowledge of climbing. Does it make you want to get back into competition climbing?
Yeah, actually it kind of does. I mean, when I am back in America studying in Los Angeles, I do tiny little competitions here and there just to, scratch the itch, as it were. But certainly looking at the level that these guys climb, I just look at some of these routes and go, whoa, it'd take me a week to red point those darn things. So on-sighting them, I don't know.
Okay, well,
I'll leave it to the youngsters.
Well, I'm not sure if you're going to be around tomorrow. Maybe you could have a jump on this wall tomorrow. But if you're ever in any world countries where the IFSC is, make sure you let us know. We'd love to have you on board with us commentating again.
Great, thanks. Well, it was a ton of fun, and you guys are great. It's a lot of work, and we appreciate what you've done. I hope that everybody takes the right message away from this, even if we had some finals. And don't be too hard on Carlos Brasco. Go back and watch the other routes and see how it all broke down. The routes were actually great.
Apparently, we've been told off by the people in the chat. We've got to accept it was a bad final. Okay, just for you guys, I accept the men's final was a bit too easy.
Yes, we can safely say that. Yes.
We can concede to you guys. We apologise, but let's not take it away for the rest of the competition. And for the rest of, to be honest, for the whole routes this year, we've seen some fantastic routes set by all the route setters from around the world. So I don't think anything will beat Paris. Paris World Championships was probably the best for me. The route setting was immense.
Yeah, it looked really, really good. And to have the French end up on the podium once or twice too. It was, I was watching online, of course, and it looked like it was a heck of a good time, and the routes were great. The boulder routes were great. The routes for the para-climbing looked like they were set really well. Separated the climbers well. Yeah. It all looked just like it was top-notch, and I think that Marco Scolaris was really happy, considering the IOC committee members that were judging or are going to be determining whether sport climbing becomes an Olympic sport. Some of them were there. So.
Well, yeah, there was some in there, and it wasn't just them. There was over 9,000 people in that crowd, and I mean, millions have watched. Or I'm not sure the actual figures. They're saying on millions, but hundreds of thousands have watched the live webcast from Paris, and that was amazing to watch, to see. So this sport is reaching a lot of people, which is great to see.
Yeah, definitely. Compared to back in the 90s when we used to have a lot, we had quite large qualification rounds and a lot of climbers, but we didn't necessarily have the crowd support. Some of them, once we got into the 90s, they definitely had some in Nuremberg and a few other places where we were, filling up half a stadium and stuff, and it was pretty good. But I think that has to be one of the bigger crowds that we've ever seen. I believe I heard Marco Scolari say that they had, Daniel Finn mentioned that they had 10,000. The police estimated 10,000 people in Chamonix.
No, I think it was more. Was it 16,000?
16. Oh, was that many?
I think it was 16,000 in Chamonix. It's spread across the whole of the square and the road, and it was chucking it down the rain.
Yeah,
that was actually one of two competitions I've missed this year, because my brother got married and I got married in June, so I missed Vale. They're the only two I've missed. I remember the bouldering competition in Shoning, the very first one. I'm still having the debate with Johnny Bryan, who was out there commenting. I think there was plus 10,000 there. It was immense how many people they had in China. Obviously, it's the biggest population in the world.
Yeah.
They've got people to get around anyway to fill up the crowd. But for the World Championships here, that was fantastic. Here, I don't know if you guys have watched anything from this morning, the qualification semi-finals. We mentioned it earlier. When we arrived to set up this morning around 7:45 this morning, there were people queuing up, and I'm jumped to one or two. There's probably about 25 to maybe 40 or 50 people queuing up, hanging around the doors outside, waiting to come in and get their seats for the whole day here. They've had a fantastic operation going on outside with slacklining and stalls and things, making it a real good family day here. But the Japanese have really got behind this competition.
Yeah, they even had a little climbing wall outside, so you can throw the kids on it, or Dad could get on and try it if you wanted. And everybody's having a great time. And one thing I should mention is I did find out what the little pink rhino is that you might be spotting in some of the advertising here. It ends up that is the character for Inzai City. It's the Inzai-kun, they call it, which means little Inzai, I guess you translate it like that. And I guess we had that dog-looking figure on the wall that was Chiba-kun.
So you don't have pink rhinos out here in Japan?
No, I haven't seen any. No.
Cool. I've seen a few on the posters.
But not running around the streets or anything.
That dog character, if you saw on the qualification routes, on the women's, I think it was the women's qualification, it's actually the prefect of the area we are actually in.
Yeah, it's just basically a bird's eye view of the prefecture turned sideways a little bit. If you look at it just right, even without the nose painted on it and stuff, it still looks a little bit like a dog. So they said, hey, we might as well make a character out of that, and that became Chiba-kun, which means little Chiba.
Well, can't be long now. I tell you what, I mean, I can see Marco and some of the other officials waiting. I think they're just getting the athletes together, and we're going to hand over to the local MC. So we're going to hand over. Thank you for watching. We'll say goodnight in a few minutes' time.
Mina Markovic, Slovenia. And the first place is Mina Markovic representing Slovenia. メダル授与 IFSC 会長マルコ・スコラリス。Please rise for the national anthem of Slovenia. 国歌演奏国旗掲揚。メディア報道関係の方、写真撮影がありました。どうぞ。お花を。Yes, thank you. It's now returning. All right. 以上、女子3名の選手の表彰でした。選手の皆様、写真撮影が終了しましたらご講談お願いいたします。選手の皆様、ご講談ください。Thank you, ladies. Yes, again. Thank you. That was really great job. Oh, yes. What a medal. ありがとうございました。続きまして男子選手の表彰を行います。男子選手入場。Winners for men. 会場の皆様、おめでとうございます。Please rise for the national anthem of Spain.
「
Well, there they are. They're the men's winners. We've just seen the women's winners. Kevin, thank you very much for joining us again. Have you enjoyed it?
Yes, it was a pleasure. Thank you, actually, for allowing me to participate. It was a great competition. Yeah, the women, I think it was a bit of a surprise that Mina won it, but she did really well, and Ramon just dominated.
Okay, well, thanks. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching in the live webcast. We are here saying goodnight from Asia after 3 World Cups in 20 days. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the replays on IFSC YouTube channel. Good night from Inzai, Japan.
Good night.
Today, Top 30 is the only company in the world able to design, produce, set up and manage a top-level competition. Everything within the same company, everything with the trustworthiness and professionalism that an official competition requires. Everything Top 30. Top 30. The heart of climbing.